That's what it was. Okay, you were right. You were right. There we go. Now, so I was talking for like an hour before I figured out that I had to go live from the actual YouTube options. What's up, everybody? So we are now currently live, and hopefully I have everything worked out correctly. Let's turn the audio down here a little bit. Okay, so you guys, I guess let me know if you can hear me properly. Hopefully you can, and my wife's in the chat with, isn't that the Google monkey? I think that's the Google monkey. Erections are live. Okay, so that's good. Confirmation we are indeed live. Because that was not the case while I was talking for like 10 minutes a second ago. What's up, everyone? Oh shit, Oni, do you know what a baby console? My words will always come back to haunt me. Yeah, the N64. Well, I wouldn't say the N64 was a baby console. It was just a bad video output console. Let's put it that way. What's going on, everyone? Can I stream Superman 64? I never bought Superman 64 because I don't want to waste my money. All right, loud and clear, so that's good. Hopefully I have the music or the actual game audio leveled out. I guess we'll figure it out. You're so buff. Thank you. I haven't been able to lift ever since the whole like quarantine thing started in my little area of South Florida. So I have been getting smaller. I've been trying to run. I ran 4 miles today. That was pretty cool. Or almost 4 miles, like 3.75 miles. Hadouken X, how you doing? What's up? Russ Lyman, holy, I was just on your channel, I want to say a week ago. Somebody on Twitter was talking about you, and I was just on your channel. Holy shit.
A mutagenic toxin created by the international enterprise Umbrella Incorporated.
I kind of like the new feature YouTube did. This way I can preview how it looks when it's getting the signal from... Yeah, see, so that's what I was doing, and I didn't know I had to go live on my end from YouTube and OBS. Pretty interesting stuff, though. So this is educational. Never played this port. Owned it, but sold the Japanese version in my eShop. Should have tried it out. It's interesting. I mean, so what we're seeing here is fairly highly compressed, right, to fit on the N64's cartridge, but it's not as bad as you might think. I mean, it's bad, but it's not terrible. I think they went from the original 15 frames per second for the PS1 version down to like 11 frames per second with interpolated frames every 3 frames, something like that. Leon's got negative dick there. Oh, shit. Well, maybe he's wearing some dead serious, like, restrictive underwear. You got to give him a little bit of... It's an innie. Maybe he's a grower and not a shower. I wonder if I can... Nah, I can't make that bigger. That's what she said. Yeah, we got to watch through the whole cutscene, though. That's for sure. Why'd he bite me? Yeah, I mean, so the compression's pretty... I mean... Oh, it's bad. It's not great. And the audio is terrible. I'll actually crank up the in-game audio through OBS when there's a cutscene where a lot of people are talking. That way you guys can hear. It's bad stuff. This port's fascinating, and I think it's the only one that has an item randomized mode. It is the only one that I'm aware of. The Japanese Source Next version doesn't. Yeah, that's the only one. What's going on in this town? See, I always love that shot. See these shots here where the zombies are getting tagged? I love that because it was the least up-close shot where you could see more buildings and stuff.
Wait, don't shoot!
Ooh, that bit rate is nasty.
We can't stay out here.
Head to the police
I think I've lost muscle now that I burned off almost all the fat. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to get that way too. I've been running every day for like a week, so not a shit ton of time, but I haven't been eating a shit ton of protein like I normally do, and I haven't been lifting, so I dropped down to 220, but I think a lot of that might be muscle that I've lost. Am I hyped for the RE3 remake? I absolutely am. I'm staying away from everything, media, trailers, reviews, and everything, just so I can come in blind.
Yeah, first day on the job. Great, huh? Name's Leon Kennedy. Nice to meet you.
Mine's Claire. Claire Redfield.
She was such a great voice actress. I love it. Leon's ginger parting looks stellar. I mean, he's not full ginger, right? Like,
Hey, did you open the glove box?
can you say brunette for a guy? How do you say a guy with
Better take it with you.
protein farts? No, see, so that's the thing. When you start getting protein farts, you know you need to level out your protein intake. Because essentially, it's like taking a vitamin. Any protein your body can't use, it'll get rid of. And a lot of times, your stomach getting all messed up and farting a lot when you're taking a lot of proteins because you're taking too much. So I've leveled it out to I can take whey protein after a workout and not have that issue. Oh, it's out in France? Oh, shit. Okay, so I'm going to have to stay off of Twitter for a little bit. What's up, Jared? N64 is such a burn-ass console, 15 frames per second. This is actually less than 15 frames. I mean, it outputs at 15 frames, but internally it's like 10 or 11. And they have interpolated frames in between like every second or third. It's interesting. Male brunette. Well, okay, so wait. How am I supposed to pronounce that differently? Brunette and brunette. So what I did to get this running correctly, or relatively correctly, is I took out the, oh Christ, what is it in the N64, that little thing inside the console? It's like a, shit, what the fuck is it called? You guys know what I'm talking about. Like the little expansion pack. What the fuck was it called? Same voice actress did Jean Grey next. Okay, so it was love at first here, I guess, then. I forget what the little expansion pack thing is that's inside the N64, but if you have that in, this game will actually render out some screens at 480i. So, let's do this. Actually, let's turn this up so you guys can hear how bad it is.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!
Oh, it's bad.
Sorry about that.
You know, it reminds me of like late 90s.
I thought
early
you were one of
2000s
them.
Web videos.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
Yeah, that's interesting. I remember back in the day when compression just destroyed audio on the internet. Howdy doody? Duper Cooper? You got a thing with saying stuff that rhymes, and I like that. So we should probably... Oh, look at how bad the text looks, though. See, that's the interesting thing. The N64 didn't handle 2D shit very well. So a lot of times when games had text baked into like a sprite layer, it wouldn't look that great. This, however, is not terrible at all. And this is one of the notes that are unique to this version, I think. Yeah, I think this is Kendo just talking to Barry, because Barry, like, worked with him all the time. What's the big idea, mate? Just hanging out. Best version of OG RE2 is the GameCube port at 480p with the updated background textures mod. Oh, God, the Seamless HD? I'm actually working with that right now. I'm making a RE3 video. There we go. There's like a weird... Not like lag, but there's a... It's like if you hold a direction, it kind of keeps going. There's like momentum almost. Interesting. You know what's crazy too is, you know, I played this game at launch, and for the longest time, I just never... Oh, fuck. Alright, good. Small ball. No! Are you kidding me? Watch this. So, I pushed that dude. Should have totally pushed the other guy. I forget what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, that zombie that lost his arm. I didn't notice that until like 6 or 7 years ago. I had always seen that scene and just never thought about it. Okay, no auto-aim in this version. I think this might be set to like a... I have it on normal difficulty, but they went down after 2 shots. That's not too common. Didn't they make a great PC patch for SourceNext RE2 that made it undisputedly the best version? That depends. They did indeed make that patch. The only problem is you have to get your hands on the SourceNext ISO. And a physical copy of RE2 SourceNext, if it's anything like the RE3 SourceNext port, it is fucking expensive. And also, the only place... I could find a few YouTube videos that had it linked in the description. And, you know, I'm not too fond of going to, like, somebody's Google Drive account and just downloading a random ISO from them. But it can be sort of hard to get a hold of. I know the RE3 SourceNext version is even harder to get a hold of. I only found one torrent that had 1 seeder, and I was fucking looking. So yes, if you have the SourceNext ISO and that patch, it's fucking amazing. But then you kind of miss out on what Onidino was talking about with the GameCube version. They have the Seamless HD mod where they used AI upscaling to upscale the 2D images, and it's fucking beautiful is what it is. I love this fucking spot right here. As a little teenager, I would just sit here and just like take in all the details of the world and just kind of imagine this place was real. I fucking loved it. Have I been catching up in an anime since I've been locked in? No. Me and Josine just got done watching Jacob's Ladder last night, and I've been just editing and working out, and that's it. Or running. Hey, Daybreaker, how you doing, man? What's up? God, what a good scene, too, because we had seen zombies actually eating people in RE1 in the basement, but, like, they made it right up front. Like, these motherfuckers are eating fools. I love it. Handgun ammo in the trash can behind you? No way. Was there really? I've never, ever gotten that before. That's actually really cool. See, this guy normally on the other versions of the game would have, like, his shirt kind of half ripped off and, like, a bunch of wounds on him. I wonder if that's, like, a Nintendo censorship type of thing. Animal Crossing friend, by the way. It's me, Ash. Anybody that talks shit about Animal Crossing is alright with me. I don't even really hate Animal Crossing. I'm just so tired of my wife playing it that... Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to hit R1, you dick. Watch, it doesn't push back anybody. Oh, now it works? We're gonna die on the first fucking area. Look at this. What am I even gonna do here? Oh, fuck. That was stupid as fuck. Why the N64 version? I don't know. I had it handy, and now that I have the OSSC, I don't have to worry about the sync dropping every time we change screens with a FrameMeister, so why not? What's up, Duke? How you doing, man? No abs, only blood. Papa Nintendo. I can't believe I took that much fucking damage. That was... So now we're just gonna have to not get hit ever. Do you believe Code Veronica is next for a remake? I think they're paving the way for an RE4 remake. Ah, man, that's tough to say. It's kind of hard to say anything, really, because Capcom isn't necessarily known for running on logic, you know? Like, I would think that it's a little too early for an RE4 remake. I don't know. It would seem weird. I would be interested to see it. I don't know if it would work very well in the RE engine without like substantial tweaking, because RE4 had a lot of wide open spaces, you know. RE engine's pretty solid at rendering out like closed in stuff, but I haven't seen it do wide open.
Who are you?
I guess the backyard in RE7 is about as big as I've ever seen it get.
The new guy, Leon. Sorry, but it looks
First
like
aid
your
spray or
party
limp away.
has been
No, we're
canceled
gonna have to keep on my tradition. Never
What
use a first aid spray.
about 2 months ago,
Does RE4 need a remake?
There was
I
this
don't
incident
necessarily think so.
involving zombies in
But
a mansion.
if you look at it from
located in the
Capcom's point of
outskirts
view,
this city,
they made a lot of money off of
Chris,
RE4.
and the other STARS
know?
members discovered
So maybe a remake wouldn't be the worst
Umbrella
idea. I
was
feel like a
behind
remake for Code Veronica
everything.
though is some pretty high hope
risked
stuff,
their
you know.
lives
I don't
to
know if
reveal
that's
the
gonna
truth.
happen.
but no one believed them. Not long after that, all this.
What's next for the
started
RE
to
Clone
happen.
series? That's a good idea. Good question.
Hang
I
in
got
there.
a few things. I have
Don't worry about me.
this X-Files
rescue the
game on the
survivors in
PS2
the
that's
other
supposed to be pretty
rooms.
decent. I have Kuon on the
take this key
PS2
card.
also. There's Mars
should be
Matrix on
able
the
to unlock the doors
PS1,
in
and
the
I
hall
still
with
haven't
this.
done Vampire.
Now go.
Christ, what is
What?
it called? Not Vampire Night.
Just go.
Countdown Vampires. So I
I'm
have
coming
that.
back for you.
A
Just
Japanese
hold on.
copy. That'd be fun to cover, huh? Marvin sounds whiter than Wayne Brady. No, he's got the deep bravado in his voice. That's... Nah. Like, okay. Who's the voice actor that did Spawn? I think he also did Goliath in Gargoyles. Like, that guy forever has cemented that, like, black dude bravado voice for me. It's the coolest fucking sound you can make. Should they make a remake of RE1? So part of me says, no, that was an incredible remake and we don't need that. And the other part of me says, could you imagine walking around the Spencer Mansion in RE engine? It's like, damn it, can I see the reason why you'd want that? So, maybe. RE4 sucks ass, and RE4 and 5 are the same game, and 6 is a Michael Bay direct. Well, I don't think RE4 sucks. I just think it's not in line with what they've already established is a Resident Evil game. Yeah, Stalker 2 isn't happening, man. I got off of that train pretty quick. There's just no way. Okay, so let's do this. Let's see if we can't get... Oh, fuck. He already made the fucking lunge. I bet I'm stuck. Okay, can we all agree that he fucking lunged? Just to see if that hit anyone at all. Because it really doesn't matter at this point. Also, maybe we should reload. Yeah, there's like a weird lag almost. With like inputs. Fuck my idiot ass. And then here. Okay, so I didn't actually hit R. I have no idea. I wonder if A and B together does that. At least you get to see this screen. The Japanese PC version, you don't even get to see that. I'm a sucker for pre-rendered backgrounds, you and me both. He's touching you, Jared. That lucky son of a bitch. Well, guess who's starting a new game? Greetings from Argentina, Jared. You and your channel are awesome. Love you, Ari, and SH Retrospective Series. You are a true fan. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for that. Very much appreciate that. I will 100% try to keep up the good work. I feel like so far I've been kind of stumbling into success, and let's hope that I just keep doing that.
A bizarre.
All I know is I don't want to see any FF7 remake spoilers since the game's out in the wild. Yep, same here. I don't want to get within 10 feet of anything talking about FF7 right now. I feel like I'm a brand new man ever since I figured out staying away from spoilers. Like, for the longest time, do you guys remember back when game trailers came out? I just had this obsession ever since then of, like, finding out everything I could about a game that's coming out.
Freeze!
And that was interesting because I, like, satiated a little curious part of me. But
What are you doing here?
Hold your fire!
it just
I'm
kind
a
of...
human!
It doesn't ruin... It changes a first playthrough when you know everything, like, what to expect. Claire this time? No, I can't, man, I can't stand doing Claire.
Sorry about that.
It kind of changes...
I thought you were one of them.
What's
that
going
first
on in
time
this town?
experience. It's like you lose that first time experience because you already
I
know
don't
what
have a
to
clue.
expect, I guess.
By
I
the
don't know.
time I noticed something was wrong, the
How'd I grow
entire
such a
city
big beard?
was infested
Isolation.
with zombies.
I haven't left my house in a long time. But to be fair, I was growing that anyways. So I grow a beard so that I don't have to shave ever. And that's really and truly the only reason. There's no deeper, like, thing to it. My Irish genes. I am like a very small percentage Irish. Okay, I think A plus B is aim. Because that's exactly what just happened. Okay, well that's good to know, I guess. And then I get hit from the front. Thank you, everyone. That's what it is. A and B together do that. That's why I kept getting bit. Okay, I got this now. Yeah, the bald head definitely helps for sure. And how do I go to... I have no idea how I get to... Okay, that's my map. God, the N64 and all of its worthless buttons. Okay, let's go to button config real quick and see. Okay, attack. Why is it making... Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So they're just going to keep that doing that. Okay, let me see if that's the case. It's not happening now. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Whatever. Yeah, I didn't even play the demo for FF7. I'm committed. I want that shit to be brand new the second I touch it. And it's going to be a lot like the RE2 remake in the sense that I will understand the general story beats that they're probably going to follow, but I'll have no idea any of the specifics, how they're going to rearrange certain events and stuff, you know? Make it a little more interesting. Waste not, want not. I mean, for how just badly compressed these backgrounds are, on a CRT, this is not that bad. Okay, so let's see if Onidino's right. Is there ammo in these trash cans? Nope. I've thought, I was like, there's no way I missed that my entire life. RE2 is my favorite game and the best in the series in my opinion. I would agree with you. I think it's superior to even the remake in the narrative department. Okay, so I think that there are oh, Z also attack. Oh, you know what? I'm sitting this controller on my leg. I might be pressing Z with my leg. That might be it. I feel like RE2, like the OG RE2 and the remake, they have peaks and valleys as far as the narrative goes. I really like the RE2 remake for its sort of kind of gritty realness that you can't really get on the original. But I think RE2 has a more well-told story, I guess. Or, man, I don't know. Maybe this could be just like my bias type of thing. But I feel like the RE2... Oh, fuck you. I have bad depth perception. I feel like OG RE2 kind of tells a 1990s Hollywood story, while RE2 Remake tells like a current, gritty, dark, realistic story, if that makes any sense. Oh, it wasn't that can? Oh, god damn it. Jesus Christ, we're already using up all of our fucking ammo. She still gets the hit, doesn't she? Okay, no. There we go. Alright, that's a good way to conserve. Alright. Not too bad. Oh, behind the thing you have to jump. Well, fuck. Funny to think this game's older than you. Yeah, that's a pretty insane idea. It also makes me feel just the oldest person on Earth. Fuck. Okay, I thought I had that lined up perfectly. Am I on danger? Eat my fucking ass. Don't speed up. There we go. How does this keep... Man, I'm not good at the N64 version, I guess. I was never good at the original RE's controls. I've been trying to play RE0 and doing very poorly at it. I don't know. So, you know, everybody tends to say like, oh yeah, tank controls, I don't like them. They always just kind of hit me as, I don't know, they just come naturally, I guess. Or maybe they didn't, and I just kind of, oh, that was weird slowdown right there, huh? I guess, I don't know, they just make sense in my head. Just pivot left and right, forward always turns you wherever you're facing. It just kind of makes sense to me, I guess. Is this the version where you can get that one angle? No. I forget which version of Resident Evil 2 where you can get an angle right here. It's kind of different. How are tank controls difficult for people? I really want to know. I'm curious. Well, a lot of people are just used to moving in the direction that they press, I assume. Or at least that's the argument I've heard. It's like, well, if I hit a direction, I should turn that way. But then there are some people, like, who have been using tank controls, but the perspective makes it a lot easier for their brain to make sense of it. Like, Resident Evil 4 essentially uses tank controls. And I think a lot of times people need a perspective for it to make sense. Like, if we were right behind Leon's shoulder, it'd make a lot of sense to pivot, and then forward is always forward, because you're facing forward. Whereas when his character model is facing forward, your brain isn't necessarily going to make that connection as quick, I think. Yeah, I did play... I started out real young playing tank controls with the original Resident Evil, so that probably helps too.
Oh, man. Who are you? Oh, you must be the new guy.
Yeah, I agree. The B
Leon.
scenarios and RE2 Remake is where it really failed.
Sorry, but it looks like your party
Yeah, it's like...
has been canceled.
If you play both of them,
What
they complete
happened?
each other. Like, where one
About
is
2
lacking,
months
the other
ago,
one is always compensating
there
for it,
was
it
this
seems. It's
incident
pretty interesting. What if
involving
they did that on
zombies
purpose?
in a mansion located
That
in
main
the
hall
outskirts
music,
of
yep.
the city.
It's fucking
Chris
godlike.
and the other STARS members discovered that
Hey, really enjoying the channel and
was
your content.
behind
Much love. Keep up the great
everything.
stuff. Thank you so much for that.
they risked their lives to reveal
yeah.
the truth. But no one believed them. Not long after that,
The interrogation
all
room
this
scene made me wake up
started
my
to
parents
happen.
screaming the first time. I
hang
think
in
the
there.
tank controls are fine. The perspective, I
worry
think,
about
messed me up.
me.
Yeah, that makes sense. The
Just
direction I
rescue
want to go
survivors in the
wasn't
other
there.
rooms.
I'd want to be moving sometimes, but
Here,
biggest thing was aiming.
this key card.
Aiming I never
you
found
should
to
be
be
able
too
to
much of an
unlock
issue,
the
but
doors in the hall
I guess
with
I didn't
this.
find much of it at all to
Now
be.
go. But just go.
Fatal Frame retrospective when? Jared, I'll lend you my Wii U to
Fine.
play.
But
Really?
I'm coming back for you.
Um,
Just hold on.
Honestly, I probably should have a Wii U at this point just to test out how well it scales GameCube games. Because I've seen it and I don't like it, but I should probably have captured footage of it. Yeah, I would like to play the Fatal Frame games again. I've only ever played the first one, and I think like 10, 20 minutes of the second one, if I remember correctly. Why do people say Code Veronica is a good game? I think it was. It was I mean, if I was going to be if I was going to subtract from how good I think the game is, I would say that it was the last in the classic survival horror line. Actually, you know what? Just because of what happened last time, let's save it real quick. Yeah, but it's the last in the classic survival horror line, so it makes sense that. Damn, I have filled this thing up. Okay, let's do this. So a lot of people probably look back on it fondly because they didn't really get anything like it afterwards, and still to this day, really. So that could be one reason. On top of that, I think it's a quality game. I really enjoy the settings that it goes through. I really like the Antarctic base a lot. Ooh, Galarian's retrospective. See, that's another thing. I've been talking to a few people who've been asking about that. I'm 100% down. Okay, so typically what people will do is go through the liquor hallway first. But if we go through the other side, we get the handgun parts earlier. Or we can. Steve's voice actor. Okay, that is a good reason for not liking Code Veronica. Hey, wait. Who fucking wrote that guy's lines? I've been capturing HDMI right out of the GameCube into my data path capture card. Ah, see, I like the idea of the data path capture card, but a lot of my setup has been fueled towards being to not only capture but play video games like immediately without any kind of prep work. Yeah, that'll fall. So I like the data path, but I don't like the custom approach, which I'm sure is a selling point for a lot of people. I don't like having to set up every single capture session for the individual game I'm capturing. You know what I mean? Okay, we might need to just in case this guy. Okay, good. And then we have a green herb over here. Father, no. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, that was a genuinely emotional scene for me at the time. When he has to shoot his own dad, like, I thought that was pretty. I was like an early teen at that point, and I liked edgy, dark stuff, so that appealed to me. So when I was doing the RE2 port video, I developed like this pretty I would say what's the word okay, I think they're kind of doing this a little more than usual. Efficient path. I've kind of figured out a path of the most efficiency, I think. I'm not a speedrunner, and I'm not good at video games, so how does that keep fucking happening? I swear I'm not touching the fucking thing. Hey, what's up, Game Dev Made Easy? How you doing, man? The Camlink 4K actually does a pretty nicely on my Mac. Ah, you know that. See, the whole capture card world is so fucking weird to me. But the Camlink seems to make sense in the fact. Wait, am I seeing that over here? Why can't I touch you then? I think what it is, I think the trigger on this controller is just mega sensitive. Is there anything in here? Nope. How old am I? 30. I'm turning 35 this year, actually. Okay, so maybe I might not have the most efficient. Why did I ever come down here? I can't remember. Oh, I wasn't going to go through here. I was going to go through the other room. Jared, you fucking idiot. Oh, yo, Jared, I beat Evil Within 2 today. It's fucking fantastic. A million times better than the first game. You gotta play it. Yeah, because if you'll remember, that first game was kicking my fucking ass for a while. I just put it down. Oh, you know what we have to do? We gotta... I don't want to fucking... I think the N64 has a different safe code. I'm gonna have to look that up real quick, because I do not feel like messing with it. That's not cheating, right? It doesn't count at all. Should we use the last of the shotgun ammo? It'd make it way quicker, right? We might as well. Because we want to get out of here before they show up. I don't think we're going to be able to if I get this, though. But I'm going to do it anyways. Man, I'm used to playing RE3 in that quick turn. It's too convenient. You know what? Hold on. Where'd I put my phone? Here we go. I'm going to look it up right here. You guys act like you're not seeing me cheat right now. Everybody look away for 1 second. We're going to find it's going to be no problem, right? And what's an N64? Some type of ancient power tool? What's up, Styles? How you doing, man? What I'm doing currently is looking up a walkthrough, like some kind of scrub, because I haven't memorized the combination, the thing on N64. In my defense, I hate it when they give me the character in a drive. It's just give me the guide to the game, please. Nobody cares about your descriptions of the items. Please. Oh, God, I can't stand. Okay, here we go. Lease department. It's going to make me go through their way. I can just tell. Did somebody... 2236? All right, Force Hunter. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I remember this. No, it's not 2236. It's the N64 version. So that's why. Okay. We're going to have to just be specific on this one. No game facts, Jared. Only fake gamers use guides. No, you're right. Which is why I'm not doing that, obviously. So what I'm doing instead is Googling the exact save code I need. Which is not the same as going to game facts. So technically, we're not cheating. Cheater put the phone down. Nope. Okay, so it got changed to 4542. There we go. We're not going to fill you back up, though. Fuck, okay, so that's... By the time I end him, the rest are going to be coming around the door. Alright, let's see if we can. Yeah. Cool. Okay, that's good. I know we got some ammo on this guy here. And I don't think I could get in there yet, but I can get the green herb. That'll be worth it. He's tweeting save codes. Why not 64? We can't handle that kind of power. Do you understand the math behind that stuff? Jared's not a god. He only acts like one. I feel like I do a decent job of... This is Jared's top 5 gaming guys. He's using the internet for one of his favorite games. Like I said, I just don't have the RE2 N64 version memorized. And they did change the save codes around for this version. Honestly, come to think of it, I probably should have started on the item arrange mode, right? That would have been better. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, so we have to go around now. Why did I usually go this way, though? To get the... I don't remember. Unruly Magic, hello to you. Also, I do have RE3 on the brain right now. I played through that game 7 or 8 times in the last 3 days. Any special reason I'm playing this version? I just started messing around with my OSSC and really figuring out its settings. And I can run this without the FrameMeister dropping sync every few screens. So I've never actually beat it on the 64. I decided why not. Let's get rid of that knife. Okay, so let's do this then. I usually like to use the first shotgun you get as like a just use it up kind of thing. Ah, it's such a classic moment. Do Claire as item arrange? Yeah, I'm down with that. Fuck it. I've been on a Resident Evil marathon. That's a good marathon to be on. Okay, so let's hope RNG goes our way and the liquor decides to do the tongue attack first. How does your N64 and PS2 consoles work? Oh, good, he did the tongue. Perfect. All right. My PS2 that I've had since I was a teenager still works for me. And this N64, I bought it from a local game shop, so it's pretty well taken care of, I guess. Keep the shotgun for the liquor. No, I kind of wanted to run by him. I'll have a better chance to take him down with the handgun if I come in behind him. There's some handgun ammo over here that I felt like a genius when I was a teenager for figuring out. I was like, dude, you can't stop me. I'm too good. Oh boy. Imagine like the guys at Capcom hand you a script and they have you record one line, oh boy. That's gotta feel great. Ooh, beat Silent Hill 3 last night at like 4 a.m. That's the right way to do it. I beat it real late at night too. Considering booting up the room since I haven't played that since launch, but I'm hesitant. It's not like it's a bad game. It's just such a departure from everything that you're used to in Silent Hill. There's a lot of on-screen stuff that kind of breaks with immersion. Like, the combat system is really wacky. Progression is really oddly done. Don't fuck. I knew you were gonna fucking do it. And I let you. Because I'm a sucker for punishment. Okay, let's just go ahead and get these while we're here. I wonder why they didn't make those sounds in the remake. Because the realism mixed with those sounds might kill somebody. Shit's scary as fuck. Coming in behind him, Jared 2020. That's the only thing I'm about. That and having way too many green herbs, apparently. I'll leave one of this. There's really nothing else in here to get. Oh yeah, there's that ink ribbon, which we don't need. The only Silent Hill game you ever finished was 2. If it makes you feel better, that's most people, it seems like. God, the soundtrack is still really... So apparently, and I don't know enough to say whether or not this is true or false, but apparently the actual sound files for RE2's soundtrack on the N64 are they're stored at a higher bit rate than they are on the disc for some reason. So I hope I didn't push it out too far. No, I didn't. Okay. So apparently the OST is of a higher quality in this version of the game versus the other ones, which I can't hear the difference, but I don't really have a crazy good ear for audio bit rate, so I pushed it out too far. Next question about the game: what setting and location should I use? See, I've always been partial to... I think you should go either a Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 2 route, depending on, you know, resources and how much work you want to put in. So you either have like a very isolated area that's outside of a heavily populated area, so that you can give the player the feeling that even though they're in this RPD office right now, Raccoon City is all around them and like there's a zombie outbreak going on. Or the more isolated, like there's nothing around you RE1 approach. You know what I mean? Wait, ammo behind the statue? That can't be true. There's no way that's true. Hold on. I have to confirm that for myself. I have never found that in my years of playing this game. That's crazy. Thank you for the fucking heads up. I'm playing SH1. Got me interested after watching it. That's fucking awesome to hear. That is such a good game. If there's one good thing I could do in this world, is get more people to play Silent Hill 1. They could be stored at a higher bit rate, but still come from a low quality game master. So from what I heard, is not only is it, well, this is all going on your like stereo out from your PS1, stereo out from the N64. Apparently, they're stored on the cart at a higher quality, and like they exit the console at a higher quality than the PS1 ones. So should we get the Rebecca picture? The soundtrack music made for Director's Cut by the deaf composer is some of the most ironically hilarious game. So some of it is, and some of it's fucking amazing though, is the only problem.
Leon!
Bitrate is stored in the balls, that is correct, Bruce Willis. Also, everybody say hello to Bruce Willis, famous actor joining the stream.
It looks like we're not gonna find your brother here after all.
Oh, interesting. The geometry is even different on Claire's arm. See how it's highlighted? You can see where it's a flat line on top. I just saw this cutscene on the PS1 version for a video I'm editing, and it's not like that. That's cool.
Let's split up, look for any survivors, and get out of here.
Do you think my retrospective on SH1 was long enough? It was pretty long. You know, I started out making really short videos. I had a series called Trash Classics where I only did like 6 minutes or something for a video, and I was like, yeah, this is really cool. And just slowly as my channel went on, I just became longer and longer and talked more and more. As I got more and more interested in more and more things about video games, I started including that, and now I just ramble on until someone tells me to shut up. I wonder if they're gonna patch RE2 to add Brad and RE3 after that. You know, that is one really cool thing about modern gaming that people tend to discount when they talk about how they just want to put in a game and play. The whole DLC thing, like adding stuff after the fact. I think we've done 50 already. Is it in the N64 version, or is it different? Yeah, we'll find out. Coplax, ever try playing through the Silent Hill mod for Left 4 Dead 2 on Steam? No, I have not. Person made a huge SH1 campaign with puzzles and everything. Ah, that's so fun. Dude, modders are so fucking cool. Also love that Claire kind of goes on about her business after this. Like, she's still
I can't believe what is happening
so
to
cool.
this city.
My current script I'm working on is about 15 minutes long, and it's for a freaking demo. I gotta trim that shit back. Yeah, there's a lot of times when, for example, I was doing my homecoming video, and I was liking the way it was going. Everything was working pretty well, but it was like an hour and 11 minutes, and I had to trim a part where I talked pretty in depth about the soundtrack and Akira Yamaoka and stuff. And that sucks because I fucking love Akira Yamaoka, but everything else that I talked about, the video didn't feel right without it being there. And I just kind of had to axe the soundtrack stuff, which sucks because the Homecoming soundtrack is one of its best features. But if I wanted to complain about its worst features, I kind of had to axe it. I was going to have to do this at some point anyways, right? Might as well now. Okay, let's do this. Can we get all three of them together, though? That'll do. Fuck you. Can I not get fucked in this game, please? That's all I'm asking for. The DualShock version ST is curious. Yeah, the basement is horrible, but some of the themes are really atmospheric. Yeah, exactly. I think that there's a lot of them that are fucking really atmospheric. And we'll go ahead and use you right now, right? Yeah, especially once you voice. Yeah, the script tends to get much longer once you add in the way you pronounce things and the way you say certain things. Ooh, this is the worst version of this file. I know it sounds weird, but I like Homecoming. Man, nothing wrong with that. I like plenty of games everybody else thinks are bad. I mean, I'm a fan of the Stalker series, for Christ's sake. There's no real in-between with that series. You either hate it or you love it. Okay, we got this. And then we'll just take these with us because we're about to... Nah, we'll get them in the item box on the way. Let's get this correct. Please work right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wait a minute, I thought the... Oh, okay, she's the only one left. Yeah, that's fine, we can run past her, right? See, I think actually RE2 Remake would have been the best situation to have Crimson Heads in. Other than the fact that it would be terrifying, obviously. Fuck off. I've never been grabbed by you assholes before. I feel like that engine, with its mobility, would allow for Crimson Heads a little bit better than RE1 Remake, which I know is sacrilege. I feel like... Crimson Heads didn't work as well. Oh, fuck. I feel like Crimson Heads didn't work as well in RE1 Remake because all you could do was either run to the next door or stop in your tracks and take a shot, whereas you could kind of back up and fire in RE2 Remake, you know what I mean? I could never get past the beginning of Code Veronica. See, Code Veronica had a very cool atmosphere, and the setting on that island at first was just so good. You know what I totally forgot is what... Let's do this. Yeah, okay. Good morning from Germany. Hey! And a very good evening from Florida to you. Could you imagine trying to play Burn Bodies while trying to dodge their tyrant? See, like, God, that sounds fucking awesome to me. In RE2 Remake, a lot of that stuff makes sense because you're given a lot of the tools to deal with what you need to deal with. Whereas in, like, let's say Resident Evil 3, they're asking you to do a lot with tank controls. And I fucking love tank controls, but they have their place and they have their intended use case, right? I feel like RE3 Remake is going to do a better job of the movement-based stuff. Like, I haven't tried the demo, so this is coming from a total Luddite who has no idea what he's talking about, but I feel like you stand to gain the most from RE3 Remake, and RE2 Remake could have probably dealt with a little more stuff like lickers, things that you had to be very quick or, like, be more tactful about. Yeah, Code Veronica does have an amazing soundtrack. It was sort of a departure, but it kind of fit because the Dreamcast itself was the departure for Resident Evil games at the time. So it made sense. You know, the graphics looked different. The game played differently as far as you had like dual wielding weapons and you had the fixed camera that would move on a track. So the soundtrack kind of had to be a little different. That's what I like about it. How long does it take for your videos to mix in DaVinci Resolve? On my Windows laptop, it was like an hour to render. Fairly fast, actually. I haven't put an entire video together, but I put parts of a video together. And what I'm estimating is, because with Vegas, I will render out, let's say, a 40-minute video in somewhere around 48 minutes. Sometimes a little bit less, depending on how many layers I use for background stuff. But with DaVinci Resolve, it's going much faster with the smaller clips I've done. So I think I can probably edit out a video at the same amount of time its duration is at this point. What would you think of an RE0 remake with co-op? That would actually be very cool. That would be fun to see. Okay, so no more using the shotgun. How does that keep happening? I swear to you guys, I am not hitting the R button. Maybe it's just like, kind of, I really can't tell how that's happening. This is going on my long list of complaints about the N64 now. Okay, he is. Yeah, oh, yeah, dude, you were exactly the guy I want to talk to. So, I want to fucking brag more than anything, but so I'm starting to figure out Resolve, and I'm starting to put together the little bag of tricks that I typically use in Vegas. And I'm at the point now where I'm editing together an entire video just strictly on Resolve, which is pretty fucking interesting. I'm feeling like I'm cautious about it because there are some things that are much more convenient. Like, for example, what I would typically do in Vegas is I would take something that's 4:3 and I would have one track with the 4:3 video. I would make a track beneath that and have that same video stretched and then apply a blur effect to it. And then I would have to then do a drop shadow on the track above it. Whereas I could take both of those effects and put them on an adjustment layer in DaVinci Resolve. And that's really helping my workflow a lot. But then there's a lot of stuff like crossfades and shit like that just is not as convenient for me in Resolve. That's not the way it's supposed to be, is it? View to the left, I think. Right? And then move you to the right. That's what it is, right? There we go. Biggest rec I have for YouTube's or YT these days is use smaller clips, H.264 MP4 recordings as interframe videos. Need to decode the whole video each time the playhead moves. Smaller can be faster. Huh. Interesting. Well, that's usually what I do. I don't usually hit record on my capture software on like OBS or something and then play for an hour. I usually only record stuff that I think is going to look good in a video. Okay, so let's do this. Inside for you. What's my favorite RE weapons? I gotta go with the upgraded shotgun in RE2 for sure. Just for the sheer... God, that thing feels powerful when you fire it. I love it. That and... I would say the custom handgun in RE3 has the best sound effect out of any of the Resident Evils as far as a handgun goes. It's perfect. Why didn't that guy just... I feel like these guys are lunging forward a lot more than they usually do. The free version of Resolve is a fully featured program. Yeah, that's what blew me away. I was expecting it to have like a watermark on my finished video. It is a legitimately full-featured render solution, you're gonna have to get used to how fucking weird it is. Grenade launcher and shotgun for you, but which grenade launcher? That's the question. I would say Claire's grenade launcher is the best in the series, in my humble opinion. Okay, so let's get you in here first. There we go. Oh, fuck, you would be here, wouldn't you? See, I'm pretty sure he was trying to fucking lunge for it. What the hell is wrong with you guys? I think CV has a lot of potential for a remake and a lot of improvements. No, for sure. I think you could probably tighten up the pacing a little bit with when events take place and how much time is required between events. Not only that, but I think you could do a lot with, and I know this isn't going to happen, this is just the optimist in me, but you really can have a fixed camera angle work in a modern RE game if it's done the way Code Veronica did it, where you have pre-rendered camera angles, but they can swoop and they're on a track and they move. I think that'll be a little bit more dynamic than what a lot of people tend to think about when they think pre-rendered cameras, backgrounds. I think it could be done in Code Veronica. At the very least, God, please just allow us to mod that into the game, you fucking assholes, Capcom. But I did see that RE3 Remake already has a first-person mod, so that's going to be fun as hell. Can I make it? There we go. We'll just wait until the Lickers replace them and get rid of him. I use and teach Premiere at my TV job. I remember I downloaded a trial version of Premiere and couldn't wrap my head around it, but I did not give it the amount of time I probably should have. Whereas with Resolve, I think because it was so radically different from what I was used to, it was kind of interesting and it held my interest a little more. Yeah, but I've been essentially keeping Resolve open on one monitor and YouTube open on the other just for tutorial videos. Why did I bring those fucking gems? I'm an idiot. Code Veronica Remake would be amazing. Sad it's not in development right now, though I've heard it's being considered. Yeah, and it's not going to come anytime soon, too, if it ever does. So that's something you got to keep in mind as well. With Remake 3, they had a lot of the assets and engine work kind of done for them. And I think that they were working on certain aspects of 3, like, directly after 2's launch. But, yeah, Code Veronica Remake will take a long time to come, for sure. I think Vegas has, like, different versions. It's a bit... Yeah, Vegas has a shit ton of different versions, and you're not really guaranteed for any of those versions to work correctly at any one time. Fuck you. I have had the worst luck this entire fucking run. Watch, they get me before I get to the door. How much you want to bet? Dino Crisis over Code Veronica? No, I wouldn't agree with that. I enjoyed Dino Crisis, but Code Veronica is a better survival horror game for sure. I think it has a lot to do with the atmosphere in Dino Crisis is good. It's good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not passable. It's really good. Code Veronica's atmosphere and setting is just so much better, or it fits closer to what my ideal dark setting is. Like, you have this prison island, and then there's, like, people in chains, and the zombies are walking around in prison garb. Like, that just works. I don't know why. Something about it just hits me in just the right way. Yeah, there we go. Damn, we are not doing great with health, are we? Time to combine an herb. I have high hopes for Dino Crisis because they gave Jill a Glock 19 for the demo. That's an odd choice unless they're going to reuse that ass. That is... Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Should we open this door just to see the anime? Because it's cool looking. We might as well. I always thought that was cool. Like, you're so used to going in and out of doors as being a safe thing, and then they use this, and they never do it again. It's fucking genius. Go around back. Go around back. The Jared way. I love that fucking zombie so much. I no longer do main support over Twitter for folks' Premiere because 9 times out of 10, the answer to some folks' issue was a missing DLL file from him using a shitty pirate crack. Yeah. I actually got my version of Vegas through a Humble Bundle sale. I saw it and I was like, holy shit. Because for the longest time, I was pirating my copy too, you know. Fingers crossed we get fancy remakes for all the classic games. See, I would be super down for that. I know a lot of people want, like, RE1 to be left alone or something, but... And I get it. The purist in me totally understands that viewpoint. But then, also the person in me that enjoys good atmosphere wants to walk around the Spencer Mansion. There we go. In RE engine. I don't know, man. Dino Crisis remake and RE engine. See, yeah, you're absolutely right, and the combat would be fucking killer because the dinosaurs are like a super fast enemy. It would just work really well. I'm totally with you on that. I would like to see a Dino Crisis remake, but if I had to choose, one had to come out and the other one wouldn't, man, I'd go with Code Veronica all day. What's my guilty pleasure in the series? Oh, that's easy. Damn it, I don't even want to say it out loud. Operation Raccoon City. That's fine. Remakes don't take away from the originals, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that is true to an extent. I think we're in a pretty interesting territory for remakes right now, though. Because as it is now, and I'm sure that this might be the case with people who are in the chat right now, sometimes a remake can take the place of the original for a modern gamer who has not played through the original. For example, that's the reason why I went so hard on the HD collection for Silent Hill. Not just because it's a bad job. Like, they did a terrible job at making that HD collection, but at the same time, that very well might be some people's intro to the series, and that's why I think it's so dangerous. So I could totally see where you're coming from, and technically you are right, but for people who are playing the remake first, and a lot of people are, especially if, you know, it has a shit ton of hype around it, which these remakes have been getting, I think that's when you start getting into dangerous territory. Wait, Duke, have you never played Parasite Eve? How dare you do that to me? Ooh, a Nightmare Creatures remake. I actually have that over there on the shelf for N64. That was one of the other games I got. You know, hopefully Squaresoft and Konami both sees the wild success that Capcom has been having with not only remaking their games, but putting a lot of effort and money into remaking their games. That's the important part. I think other companies are going to start to see the money in actually investing in a quality product like this. because there's a lot of remakes that just flat out didn't need to happen. Nobody put any money into it. Like the Wild Arms remake on PS2, it's a good game. It's just there was no money put into it whatsoever. It didn't need to happen. What I love about Remake 2 is that it didn't take away from the OG, and rather than replacing it, it just offered a different experience for the story. I did see it that way too. I think you're right about that. I played the demo and a little bit, but I never played past a handful of hours. It's a pretty short RPG too, so if you have it sitting around, it's not going to take you more than like 12 hours to finish, maybe 16. Some decent shotgun shells. What we'll do is we'll carry the shotgun for now. We don't need it. And if I'm right, I think we go downstairs. Yeah, that's where we're going. The opening scene at the opera freaked you out as a kid? See, oh god, I used to live in this really fucking way out there spot in Tennessee. And we lived in what used to be a Civil War hospital, which was really cool, and I'm almost positive it was haunted. But it was a really old place, and we got it for cheap because it was the only house on that street. Like, and the street was long. Like, it was a fucking country-ass road. So I used to live there, and there was a guy that lived like a mile down the road who really got into RPGs. And we played the demo for Parasite Eve together. And then he came over one day, and he's like, yeah, I picked up Parasite Eve. And I was like, fuck, what? Dude, let's play it right now. And we played through about 4 hours of that game while he was there. And just every memory I have about that game was like that night. So much fucking nostalgia. Oh, Jared, did you not look at the right fucking place? No, you didn't. So how am I going to wing this? They are definitely on the move. Oh, he went that way. Good. Nice and easy. I have a free boot memory card and the disc swap chick ready to go on my PS2 to play burn PS1 games. Why not just use a USB stick for an ISOs or something? It can be hit or miss as far as like cutscenes, playback, and stuff like that, but yeah, loading an ISO from a USB stick is fairly simple with free boot. You can load the pop simulator from your main menu, or you can, there we go. Go to OPL and load the PS1 ISO there. Oh, you fucking asshole. I was almost there. Oh, shit. Legends 2? That's a fucking rough game to lose. I still have a copy of Legends 1, but I don't have a case for it. USB stick is too slow? No, some PS1 games it works fine. Like, as a matter of fact, my RE3 video is run off of an ISO on a USB stick because my local game shop is closed and I can't get anywhere. And the cutscenes play back full speed, no issues. There will be a stutter every once in a while because of USB 1.0 overhead, but it's surprisingly fucking good. Okay, that's still locked, so go through here. Where are you? Yeah, you are there. Okay. Oh no, they have to get through the office then. Right? Ah, we'll figure it out. You know what? I do get that, Duke. I have found that I have an analog Super NT over here, and I have the custom firmware on it so that it runs ROMs, and now I don't touch it. I have to have something invested. You know what I mean? If you just boot up an ISO, it's not the same. I want to get that fat PS2 so I can use the hard drive. Yeah, I actually just got like a 500 gig SATA drive and the SATA IDE PS2 adapter. I haven't played around with it too much yet, but I want to. Oh, you cracked your internal blue case? Fuck, that's an expensive cousin to have, man. Anyone into true crime or unsolved mysteries? Yeah, I could go that way for sure. I really get into more like, maybe not true crime stuff, like film noir, like investigation type of stuff I get into. It's got to be very like gritty and noir for me to get into it. I don't know why. I don't think I can go in here yet. I did. Yeah, I've been meaning to get into the Mister as well. Fuck my ass. I forgot about this. Alright, come on, get in close. Get in close. There we go. Alright, not too bad. Yeah, I don't blame you for not talking to him. Jesus Christ, that is a fucking... So, I guess I probably shouldn't, because he might not like me talking about his business out in public. I have a family member who struggles with pill addiction on and off, and he was fuck you, going through a bit of a bender, and at the time I was a total fucking idiot, and I kept all of my... No, I don't need you. I kept all of my PS1 games in like a CD book, you know what I mean? And I kept the cases out for display. And I thought that was the most genius thing. I put the manual and the disc in the little CD book, and I like seeing it all together, right? And he took that to a pawn shop, and God damn it. He pawned that fucking whole book of CDs, and inside of it was a disc of Persona 2 Eternal Punishment that I now have a case for, no fucking game. It's the most like expensive loss I've had as far as video games go. Still pissed at him for that. But then I got his name tattooed on my arm, so we're cool now. Oh, the Elisa Lam case. That was weird. That was the one that was in the water treatment tank, right? Oh, fuck. He's fast. Okay. Just gotta get some fucking room on you. Yeah, the weird shit was that like security camera footage of her moving her hands around like there was something outside the elevator. That was creepy shit. Anyone here like to collect their own Japanese RE games? Yeah, I have half the RE games I own are Japanese versions right now. Or I have Japanese versions of half the games that I own. Yeah, whatever. However it goes. I think the RE series should abandon the legacy characters and start fresh going forward. They've overstayed their welcome. Part of me wants to disagree with you, but I think that makes a lot of sense, honestly. I would love to see new characters in a new situation. I want classic tropes to return, but yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I think that's pretty decent take. That game's like 150 easy. Yo, trust me, I know. The disc only is not much cheaper. Oh, fuck. He pissed me off so bad with that. So he stole my car at one point, and I took that way better than when he stole my video games. There we go. That's sad. Yeah, but it's been so long, and looking back on it now, it's just one of those things that happens to you in your life, and, not going to go crazy about it. Dustin Sterling, hey, finally caught a stream? Hell yeah. We are here. We were waiting for you, man. I know we're on the same page there. Which ones in your collection are Biohazard? So I have Biohazard 2, Wait, where does this go? Head back through there. Right. Okay, good. Now we're good to go on the other side. So I have Biohazard 2, Biohazard 3. I have the Gun Survivor version of Code Veronica. I think it's Code Veronica or Gun Survivor 3, I think. So I have that. I have Outbreak Files 1 and 2, Japanese copies. And I have Resident Evil 1, both Japanese version on the Saturn and the Japanese version on the PS2. I remember watching a video about it, and I was like, oh, there must be a toxicology report to explain this. And my blood went cold when they found out that there was no drug paraphernalia found at the scene. Yeah, it's a weird situation for sure. It would have been nice if it was like a situation dreamed up in like a movie producer's writing room and not like an actual person died, but you know, it's fucking creepy either way. Dustin Sterling, what's up with you? I am fucking chilling right now. I didn't think I was gonna stream because I've never streamed on this channel before, but now that I'm doing it, I'm glad I did. My brother bought a Persona game. I think it was the first one, or Eternal Punishment. Fuck, I should probably pay attention. For like $150 at a game convention here in Ohio last year. Took it home, didn't load past the first battle. Oh, that's terrible. I still have one of those, you know, those crank fucking disc doctor things? Sometimes, if the scratch is not too deep, those things legitimately work. Is there an item room down there? No, I'll leave those there. Shotgun shells? Yeah. Gun Survivor 3 is Dino Crisis? Oh, okay, so it's 2 that's Code Veronica. Gun Survivor 4, Heroes Never Die. Way better than Resident Evil Dead Aim. Okay, yeah, the dog's here. Nope, still. He'll be stuck right there around the corner. Watch, the second I leave this hallway, he will be right around the corner, ready to bite me. How much you want to bet? There he is. What did I fucking say? Jesus Christ. This piece of shit game. Ugh. I actually streamed the Japanese version of RE1 on Saturn. I think it was like one of the first times I ever streamed on YouTube. It was pretty cool. Do you think Kojima will make a horror game in the future? Yeah, I think he's already got people psyched up about it. Like, he has more publicity for doing a horror game than he ever got for Death Stranding, so I think it's a good chance he will. I don't know that it... Okay, so let's put it this way. If he produces and develops a horror game, that could be interesting. I don't see him writing a horror game very well with his writing style. So I'd be interested to see, but I don't think his writing style lends itself to horror very well. He's very wordy, and that can work well, but I think horror, sometimes you need to say less and show more, and that is just not his MO. You know what I mean? Speaking of lost in games, I think the worst for me was the knowledge of giving my ex Tales of Destiny. Oh, Daybreaker. So, this is less of a loss because I only had the disc. I remember I went to visit my family in Miami like a few years after I moved out of Miami, and there was a Hollywood Video up there that had a copy of Tales of Destiny for sale, but it was only in a generic ass like PS2 DVD style case. So I had the disc for Tales of Destiny, and that was another one of the games that was in that CD book. Oh, look at that face. Not
Sorry
good.
about that. When I saw the uniform, I thought you were another zombie.
I had to buy a second copy of Lost Kingdoms 2 on GameCube because the one I bought in store didn't load past the first level. See, at that point, why wouldn't you use the
And what are you doing here?
SD loader on your memory card for that?
I'm looking for some
I assume you
guy
have
named
one because
Ben.
I know you're using
He's one of those
Swiss.
reporter types, always looking for a scoop.
Off topic, but what tattoos do you have on your arm? I have on this arm, it's the Max with Mr. Gone and Julie Winters from the Outback here. And this is Aerith surrounded by the live stream.
If we work together,
And
we can
Ifrit
move
here
this thing.
and Shiva here.
Give me a hand,
And
Henry.
Holy Materia there. And I got a couple of, like, this is Kurasu. Crow's manga is like my favorite ever. And I have my brother's names on my forearms. And I want to get a tattoo on my balls. My wife won't let me. Bum the RE Resistance beta is still down for PS4. It looks dope. Aren't they going to include it in the RE3 like collector's edition or something, right? I'm not sure if that's something I'd be willing to pay extra for, but I feel like I probably have to try it out with the Resident Evil retrospective and everything. It'd be like, I'd be skipping out if I didn't, I guess. Oh, I did. It was the principle of the thing. I like my real games to work too. Yeah, I get that. But yeah, I use Swiss to boot the disc in 480p. Yeah, Duke, the crazy thing is, forcing 480p through Swiss has worked in every single GameCube game I've ever tried, except for that first-person shooter 13. For some reason, it never works in 13. But I haven't come across any other GameCube game that did boot in 480p. Do I think RE4 should be remade? Not necessarily. I don't think it needs it because it plays like a modern game already. And I think a lot of the reason why they're remaking the old RE games is to make them play more modern. But if you're going to remake RE4 in the same control scheme that they're using to remake the older games, that just, I don't know, it doesn't seem to fit as well, you know? But at the same time, it would be fun. So. Oh, it does come bundled with the game? Alright. Jared, pronounce it Ifrit. No, I refuse to. They do that in the Tales series, and I could never stand it as a kid. I always want to pronounce it the way that I read it originally. Same thing, I still say Bahamut, even though I know it's like Bahamut or some fucking ridiculous shit. Ada, wait!
Let me guess.
God damn
You
it,
must
Leon's
be Ben,
fucking voice
right?
actor's so good.
Get up now.
Oh, it comes with a base game. Sorry, so that's good to hear.
What do you want? I'm trying to sleep here.
Oh, that's
Is this the
wild.
guy?
I love how well it works. Yeah, everything except for
Ben,
13 that I've ever
You told
tried
the
is
city
booted up in
officials that you
480p
knew
without an issue.
something
It
about
sucks the
what's been
PS2
going
can't handle
on,
the frame
didn't
buffer or
you?
whatever to handle
What did you tell
all
them?
games forcing 480p. So
And
it's
who the heck are
interesting,
you?
Duke. It's not so much that
I'm
the
trying
frame
to
buffer
find
can't
my
handle it. It's that
boyfriend.
the frame
His name's
buffer...
John. He was working for a branch office of Umbrella
Some games are
based in
coded
Chicago,
to
but he
specifically
suddenly
give the
disappeared
frame
6 months
buffer a certain
ago.
stream of information.
I heard a rumor
And
that
while
he's here in
480p
the
is
city.
technically possible on the hardware of PS2,
I don't
a
know
lot of the
anything.
earlier dev
And
kits
even if
kind
I
of made
did,
people
Why would I want to tell you?
tie the frame rate to the rate at which
Okay,
information
I say
is
we
given
leave
to the
him in
frame
there.
buffer.
Does
And if you
anyone know
send
where they
it,
put the key to this
because
cell?
what they do is they get to it before the frame buffer.
I
And if
have
you
it
send
right
it a
here,
480p
officer.
screen to shoot to the
But I'm not
TV,
about to leave
you're sending
the
it at
cell.
half the rate It's not sending two interlaced fields anymore. It's sending one screen, and you half the frame rate. So that's why a lot of games don't support 480p with the PS2, just because the dev unit they used had them using the frame buffer in that way. It's super interesting. Am I planning on doing the Silent Hill Arcade retrospective? Yeah, I'm gonna have to find that emulator for that game.
I'm the only cop left alive in this building. What?
Marquois, long time no see. It has been a long time. Good to see you again, man. Imagine a world where 808.
Do you even know how to get out of the city?
One can only imagine.
There's a kennel in the back of the building. Inside the kennel is a manhole. Go through and it'll lead you to the sewer entrance, but it won't be easy.
So here's
Alright,
where I might
I'm
need to
going.
chill a little bit. So this is a new channel because I really don't like what YouTube does to my channel when I start streaming on my main YouTube channel. So if you guys are down for watching this stuff again, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button just so more people get alerted when I do go live. I don't want to spam my YouTube channel, my community post with every time I stream. It's like, hey, I'm going live. It's like people are going to start getting pissed about that. So to save me a little bit of, I don't know. Do I actually have any scruples? Yeah, just to save me from feeling like a sellout, do me a favor and subscribe if you get into watching whatever the hell this is. That's why you some games run faster when you force it or slower. Yep. It just depends on the rate at which the developers told the PS2 it will be getting information in the frame buffer. And if those two don't line up, you can get both slow down and speed up. Poor Leon, no one listens to him, especially women. He's got a rough history. Okay, so there is a... Okay. So we'll go back and get those green herbs, because then we can go to that item box. I think people might get more pissed finding out you've been streaming and they didn't know. That's a solid point. It's a solid fucking point. I hit that sub button. Don't worry, baby. I knew I could count on you, dude. My main man. Dude, it's crazy to think about how far back, like, you and I have been communicating, dude. Like, that's insane to think about. Back when I first started my channel, I remember messaging you and asking if I could use, because you had done a Snatcher video at that point, I think. And I remember being like, yo, can I grab some of your Snatcher footage and use in my video? And you're like, yeah, no problem. And that was fucking, that feels like five years ago, something like that. That's crazy. Nathan Mort, thank you very much for subscribing. Everybody else too, I really do appreciate it. I don't want to constantly spam my channel just every time I go live, so thank you for saving me. Saving face. There you go. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been years. Yeah, I didn't know about this second channel. Yeah, I wasn't trying to, it's not like I was trying to keep it a secret. I just wasn't trying to shill it out super hard. And I think YouTube, for some reason, I think that there are people who are subscribed to me on YouTube who just don't want to move over to Twitch, and I totally get that. And I didn't want to either until YouTube started killing my channel, the algorithm. And I think what it was I would put out a 40-minute video that a bunch of people would watch for like 20 minutes. And then I would do a stream that, because I don't want to stream games that everybody wants to see. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, whenever a big game comes out, I don't give a shit about. I don't want to stream it. I don't want to fucking go through all that. I feel like a fucking shill. So I would put out a stream of me just fucking around on Street Fighter 5 or whatever, and nobody would watch that. And YouTube would take that as like, oh, nobody must be watching this guy's videos because he just did a 4-hour fucking video that no one looked at. So I figured, why not just put it here on this channel and keep the YouTube integration, because there are plenty of people who don't want to move over to Twitch, and I 100% get that. So might as well hang out here too. I subbed too, since I just realized this isn't your regular channel. Hopefully a lot of people make that mistake, and then we get like 50,000 subs over here, because that'd be fucking nice. Do we need anything? We should probably bring these and just put them in while we're here, right? That's what she said, by the way. I don't think I can go in there yet, though, can I? No, we're about to find out. I've been subbed for a while. You have nothing to fear. I enjoy your retrospectives. Thank you very much. It still blows me away that people give a shit about my content on the internet. It never stops being surreal. When you wake up and look, you have like hundreds of comments on a video. I'm like, that I couldn't even imagine back when I first started my YouTube channel that would ever be the case. I like Twitch. I think the delay is better, and I don't have the audience to worry about that kind of fragmentation. Yeah, so I used to have like a good amount of people watching my streams, but that's only a good amount of people for streaming, whereas my other videos, typically I would get like a decent amount of views on, and then YouTube would recommend my stuff in the algorithm. Be like, oh, people are watching your Silent Hill videos, we'll start putting them in people's recommended sections, whereas my stream would often stop them from doing that. And I went from, no joke, my common subscriber gain per 28 days is round about 1,000 to 2,300, anywhere in that frame. So sometimes it'll go up and down, no big deal. But after I started streaming that week, I went down to 200 subscribers every 28 days, and it stayed like that for a month. I almost panicked. I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna die. So I've heard way too many conflicting reports. Like, I asked on Twitter, hey, what's everybody, you know, what's your experience with streaming on YouTube? Did it also kill you in the algorithm? And I would get reactions from people. Bigger YouTubers would say, no, it's not working yet. It's not there yet. And smaller YouTubers would come at me and be like, no, it works fine. And maybe I think it has to do, because I would look at YouTubers who said that it worked well for them, and they typically, and this isn't like an insult to them or anything, because they were helping me out, but usually they would get relatively low views on every upload, and they would get around the same amount of views for every stream. So possibly it makes me think that your stream has to get as good of views as your other videos, or else it'll kill you in the algorithm. I'm not sure if that's the actual case, but that seemed to be the case for me. And I don't know, I would just rather be able to stream whatever I wanted to, because I know if I was streaming like a Resident Evil game on my channel right now, you know, we would have like 100 people in here, no problem. But I don't want to always have to worry about streaming the right stuff or it killing my channel. So we are going to do whatever the fuck we want to do on this channel. And if it gets shut down, it's not really going to be any hair off anybody's back. I'll just make a new one and do all this shit all over again. I was drawn to your retrospectives because I can tell how much you love the games you cover. See, I like hearing that, because I really and truly do. And with a lot of the games that I've covered for the first time, like, I really want to get across how, like, if for example, like with Resident Evil 6, that was the first time I'd ever even touched that game. I'd never even had the game installed before. And I kind of wanted to get across this, like, wow, this was a new experience for me. And it was different than what I thought it was going to be. Like, I really try to make that the main thing, you know? I found you through the algorithm. Yeah, I mean, like, I would say, I had 10,000 subscribers when I started the retrospective for Resident Evil. And I went from 10 to 30,000 in, like, a week when I put out my Resident Evil 1.5 video, because at the time Resident Evil Remake had been confirmed, and for the longest time we all kind of thought that was vaporware. So I started working on the RE retrospective because I was bored, and we had just had a hurricane, and the internet wasn't working, but the electricity worked. So I was just capturing footage of Resident Evils 1 through Code Veronica just because I was bored, and then I was like, yeah, I'll start up a script. And it ended up getting me 52 or 53,000 subscribers, a number that I never in my wildest dreams thought I would ever fucking hit. It's still insane to me to think about. I used to upload a video, and I would get really nervous if it didn't get 1,000 views in the first week. I'd be like, "Ah, this is a failed video, you know, no one cares." And now I'll upload a video, and I get really nervous if I don't get like 10,000
Leon,
views in the first
can
2
you hear
days
me?
or something.
Ada, did you find anything?
I found you because of your Hunter the Reckoning videos. Yeah, we talked about that. An underappreciated series. You're absolutely right. Little safety tip: don't throw boxes of shotgun shells.
I can't reach the ventilation hole. I'm going to have to find another way around.
Gotta
I'll
pay
catch
rent
up with
somehow.
you.
Yeah, like I do like being more creatively free with my YouTube channel, but I want YouTube to punish me or reward me based on the content of that channel, not so much the streams. So we get on here, we could say whatever the hell we want. We don't have to worry about it affecting my fucking livelihood, because I do YouTube full time now, and I did just say do. So that's cool. I was drawn to you because it was the only review of RE5 that was made in the past 5 years. How crazy is that to think about? Yeah, it just seems like such an odd fucking combination of random events. A hurricane hit South Florida. I'm bored. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's do a Resident Evil retrospective. Then RE2 remake gets confirmed, and I'm like, oh, maybe more people will watch my RE2 video, which actually was the case, but more people watched my Resident Evil 1.5 video because they had announced that RE2 would have RE 1.5 content. And I think, because I saw so many people excited about it on Twitter, I think a lot of those people had never played 1.5, and they were just like, oh, cool. And then they immediately leapt to YouTube to see what the fuck that was all about. And I think my video was like number 1 or 2 in the search bar. And I think that's where I got 2/3 of the people that ended up finding me. Which is cool. I mean, I'll take it either way. Which hurricane? I know that struggle. That's a good... Josie... Oh, fuck, my wife went to sleep. What was the most recent hurricane? I completely forgot its fucking name. Somebody is bound to know. I knew it. Fucker. The most recent hurricane that came through South Florida messed everything up. I remember your old videos of Trash Classics. Oh, God, that was a rough time, man. Daybreaker, I just stream whatever. Even when I stream Astral Chain, when it launched, I didn't see a huge increase in viewership. So just said fuck it at that point and went to doing what I want to do. Yeah, dude, that's the way to do it, man. I'm lucky when I said fuck it, I'll just do whatever I wanted to. I just lucked out, and what I wanted to do ended up being popular for that moment, you know? I found out about Avalanche from the algorithm showing me the huge RE retrospective. Yeah, man. That's so cool. You know, and what I like about that series, too, is by the time people started really getting into it, I had... Before it got popped... Oh, fuck, I forgot about you. Okay, that was a card reader. Which one is the... Fuck, should I fight? No, I'm not going to fight him. Okay, we'll reset them. I was starting to put more effort into, not so much more effort, because I was trying with all my videos, but I really wanted to improve. And it's cool that people started finding me when I made that decision. Like, yeah, I want to put more into this than I've been putting. Fuck my pee hole. Dorian yellow caution course. Yeah, so people found me what I would say is my best, which is really cool. It's good that people came through when I was doing good work. Irma was it. That was it. Yeah, so it was Hurricane Irma, and I was lucky to be on one of the like grids that's like going to a hospital, essentially. So I was lucky enough to get electricity pretty early on. So I was stuck here with a capture device, a FrameMeister, and a PS1, and nothing much else to do. Ah, fuck, I'm gonna have to go through here now. Did I go through here, though? I did not, and I don't need to. Thank you, Jared, for answering. He's not up anymore. Why do my direction changes never register? That's a waste of green herbs. I actually started watching more of Sphere Hunter because of your videos. I think it recommended her. Yeah, she's got some killer stuff. I think she's my counterpart in the sense that she has a great voiceover voice. Very soothing to listen to, you know what I mean? And like that goes a long way with YouTube videos. Having good mic quality and a good sounding voice, like that does a lot to keep somebody watching. I think, at least. I have my views on how YouTube works, and sometimes they don't equal out to how it really works. Okay, so alright, I know there's a little bit of lag. Should we do the machine gun or the side pack? I'm thinking side pack, but let's see what you guys think. Maybe we should collab one day. Yeah, I've told her I'm super down, but we're always working on different projects. And I'm one of those people where I want to take part in a video, not because someone's like, because she's obvious, she's a huge channel. She's much bigger than me, and she gets much more views than I get. And I don't want that to be the reason I collaborate. So if she's ever working on a video and I have some type of insight that I think would be interesting for her viewers to watch, then I will 100% jump on there. I'm a Castlevania fan, and I always forget about that trash heap called erotic violence. What's erotic violence? Holy shit. I mean, is it what it sounds like? It sounds like it's the best type of porn there is. What do I think of the coronavirus pandemic? You know, it's shitty, and I don't want to freak anybody out, but I think we're going to be doing this quarantine thing for a few more months, actually, which really sucks for the economy. I think a lot of people had pretty positive views on the whole coronavirus thing, thanks to the information the Chinese were putting out, and I don't trust a word they say, so I don't. And I think actually recently we found out that the Chinese have been covering up the whole corona thing for longer than we thought, because in January they had Chinese companies that were stationed in places like Australia buying up consumer healthcare goods to send to China, and that was only when they had 7 confirmed cases of it, so they knew what was going on from the get-go. Is the shotgun weaker in this version? I don't think it is, but it did take 3 shots for that one liquor, so maybe. Yeah, everyone's saying side pack. Snake7753 says the message was retracted. I hope that wasn't because I tried to turn off all the profanity filters on here so people could say whatever the fuck they want. We're not at the peak of this virus yet. Yeah, for sure. I'm glad I can work from home. Yeah, I was, you know, it sounds shitty to talk about because I'm sure there's people in this chat right now who lost their jobs. I lost my job. For those of you that don't know, I work security at a local bar. And obviously I can't do that anymore. But I was lucky enough to jump into working from home with this YouTube stuff when I did, because like if I had to count on an actual job and I didn't have what I have right now on YouTube, yeah, I'd be fucked. That's crazy to even think about. Yeah, it's really shitty, but I don't think it will be too long until we have a vaccine, and then coronavirus will just turn into what the flu is. It'll be just a thing that is seasonal. Some people will get it. You know what I mean? I don't think, at least this is coming from somebody who's not immunocompromised and not very old. I mean, I'm relatively old, but I'm one of the people who would statistically be more likely of bouncing back from corona. So I'm not as worried about getting this illness myself or it being very bad. But what I think I am worried about is the medical facilities getting overrun with people who have it. So I think this, this whole isolation thing is a really good thing in the end, because It's like, yeah, it sucks. I can't go to work and I can't hang out with my friends right now without fearing for this whole corona thing. But it's good to let all of the corona infections happen along a longer period of time instead of stacking them all up in the same 2-week time period, you know? It's shitty, but it's got to be that way. At least for a little bit. So while I hope everybody is doing well with the stimulus package that I think already went through... Oh, fuck. I need to start paying attention. I do also... I don't know. I think it's going to be okay for me, and it's hard for me to see from other people's perspective as much, but luckily I think this household should be okay. As soon as China learned anything about it, it was shared with the world. I really don't get this whole China hid information conspiracy. That's not true at all. As a matter of fact, the first doctor that ever revealed Corona's existence, when he came out about it, he was silenced and then died from the virus despite being young and a healthcare professional with access to high-tech tools. You know, like, I don't think it's a misinformation thing at all. The Chinese, okay, so let's be very honest here. The Chinese are very into their, let's say, reputation in the international community. And this isn't like an insult. They want people to see them as the best at what they do. And I think the coronavirus, I think if I'm putting on my tinfoil hat, they understood that it was going to be bad, and they were hoarding medical supplies for themselves, which is in their best interest, and I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. But they hid a lot of coronavirus numbers. As a matter of fact, for the longest time, they didn't give anybody the numbers, and then the World Health Organization seemed to be speaking from their script, saying that, oh, this isn't a pandemic because we don't have a definition for pandemic, despite the definition for pandemic being on their website and it fitting what was happening here. But the Chinese were quick to say that the coronavirus, they had no idea, or not that they had no idea, that it was confirmed to not travel from person to person. And a lot of people think that the coronavirus has mutated because it does now, which isn't the case. There were 3 doctors in China, one of them in Wuhan specifically, that said, we know that this virus travels person to person. And the Chinese government put the kibosh on that. As a matter of fact, for the longest time, Chinese people, to get around Chinese censorship, were using apps like Twitter because the instant messenger apparently did not filter words the same way the Chinese internet did. And there's a shit ton of Tinder profiles that just used instant messaging to spread information. Yeah, so I don't think it's like I feel like there is enough proof out there. It's not just a wacky conspiracy theory. The fact of the matter is the Chinese government knew a shit ton about COVID-19 before it told anybody in the international community. And when it did release its information, it's saying that its cases are in remission, but that's not the case according to anybody else. And also the Chinese are kicking out American reporters. Why would you do that if you didn't have anything to hide? That was actually the World Health Organization that told China that information? No, that's not the way that works, man. And not to be like rude and argue with you, but that's not how the WHO works. The Chinese weren't giving out information to their people according to the WHO. That's not how the Chinese Communist Party works either. Do you think there's any information being disseminated from China that is coming from something that isn't the Chinese government? Like, that's not how you keep a Communist Party working. Why did I go this way? I gotta start paying attention. Okay, so we got you. We're gonna go ahead and get you out. We don't need the Magnum right now, but we do need some herbs. Oh, we need the crank too. That was close. The Chinese government silenced for 2 months, and that time the virus spread and turned into a surprise. That was unfair for even their own people. This is absolutely correct. And like I said, this isn't like, Chinese government bad type of thing. Like, you know, governments are going to government. They're going to do fucked up shit in their own best interest. It just turned out in this specific situation, the Chinese doing what was good for them in their best interest fucked everybody else. 8-Bit Duke's over here making fucking commercials and filming interviews, and people are blaming him for the media. You deserve that, Duke. That's all on you. I've been telling people it's your fault, honestly. I've been pointing, screaming, get him for the longest time, so. Loving that this guy's based as hell. No, I'm not, like, based. Like, I think anything that I say is shit that everybody else figured out a long time ago. That's my entire perspective on the world. If I know about it, that means that is not some secret knowledge passed down from the ancients. That's some I heard it from 16 other people shit. Chinese government is a mix of socialism, republic, democrat, republic, and capitalism. They're only communist in name. I agree with that, but they strive for communism. The point is communism. They do have rudimentary free markets in the form of a black market, but the fact that that market is illegal in its sense, it doesn't, on the record books, that counts towards their economy, but as far as what they are aiming to do, it does not. That's like, for example, saying, this is how I like to put it. In America, it is illegal. Did I not take... After I said that, Jared, get the crank, I didn't get the crank. Okay, so this is how I like to put it. In America, let's say... let's say not in America, in Florida. Recreational use of marijuana is illegal in Florida. But I don't have any friends who don't smoke weed. So technically, it's not illegal because you're allowed to do it. Or not because you're allowed, because people do it. Whereas in the Chinese economic system and government system, it is a communist system in the sense that it strives to be communist. And it's not a communist system in the sense that a lot of its money comes from black markets that are rudimentary free markets. Fuck you. I have... How many hits have I taken from this one fucking liquor? Oh, I'm so pissed off. 4 rounds, and I used... Oh, I'm so fucking mad. They all branch from the same Marxist parent ideology. This is true. But I do think that you might be giving the Chinese Communist Party more credit than it deserves, I think. I think as far as, like, not human relations, but humanitarian acts go, the Chinese government is pretty far down the list. Here in Argentina, there's no difference. We have a corrupt government where the health minister said, textual, I think the virus was going to arrive later. A health minister. It's a hard world. Yeah, South America isn't doing too much better as far as systems of government goes. Opinion on German streamer Drakenlord. Fuck it. I don't know, man. Okay, so obviously he's a lolcow, and the shit he does is ridiculous. But at the same time, I think people fuck with him too much. Like, don't go to people's houses. I think I'm very American in the sense that if you show up on my doorstep and throw a rock at my house, I'm allowed to shoot you. And, like, I feel like it's pretty interesting that he hasn't killed anybody yet. Because people go to his house and throw rocks through his windows, and they throw fireworks on his property and stuff, and it's like, okay, I get it. Like, it's fun to fuck around with people on the internet. Like, that's, you know, it's funny to watch people freak out and spaz out. Like, that's cool. But don't go to someone's house, and don't get involved in their real lives. I think that's crossing the line. What's your favorite RE game, and why is it RE2? It actually is RE2, and I don't know, RE2's my happy place. I can turn this game on and do what we're doing right here. Like, the game is going in the background and we're just having a conversation. That's what I love about this game, is I'm so familiar with it, and it still has such an impact on me that I can sit here and have a conversation and then just stop in the middle of what I'm saying and just focus on something cool that's happening in Resident Evil 2, you know? He kind of did bring it on himself. He did dox himself. That's true. I don't think he's not quite in his right mind, but he did give people his address like an idiot. But even when people give you their like, if someone were to say like, hey, here's my address, come and fight me, it's like they did do it to themselves, but it's still incumbent on me if I go to the address. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fucked up. People who fuck with Wings are insane, but Wings is a dickhead, so he kind of does it to himself. Yeah, and I agree with what people do to Wings as long as they're just making fun of him on the internet. When people start going to your house, that's a different story. Yeah, Wings of Redemption's a fucking asshat.
No!
I don't like liars, that's my problem. And Wings of Redemption, DSP, like all the really famous streamers seem like liars. I don't like them. Isn't it hard to get a strap in Germany? I think he lives out in the country. I think he owns a shotgun. I'm almost positive that's the case. Oh, your first experience with 2 was on the N64. Interesting. Gotta remember, Jared, I lived in China for 3 years and saw how things were compared to the lies we're told. Okay, and I don't think the information I get about China is lies, but I will tell you this. It's really easy for you to think that way when you're so close to the situation. For example, if a guy's in a relationship, like I'm sure you guys have seen this before, where you have a friend who's in a relationship with like a toxic girl and she's cheating on him, and he's too close to the situation to see it that way. And it's only after they break up and he's been alone for a year that he goes, God, that was a really fucked up situation. I think it's pretty common if you lived inside of China, it would be very easy for you to have a much more sympathetic view than I would, for sure. It's because you saw the people, you interacted with them, and I 100% get where you're coming from. But the information that I have about China isn't a lie. Like, as far as how the economy works, that's coming straight from some pretty legitimate sources. And on top of that, as far as misinformation goes, if it wasn't a heavily dictatorial fucking...
Where are you going, Ada?
Totalitarian government, they wouldn't censor the internet. They wouldn't put you in jail under suspicion of fucking dumbass bullshit. They wouldn't be jailing doctors who were speaking publicly about a virus.
We now have access to the back
And
of the
now,
parking
like I said, I'm not going hardcore like, oh, China's the evil of the world or anything like that. My point is they run their government poorly, and they do it at the detriment of their people, and I don't like that. And I understand that you lived there and you saw things differently, but while you're living there, the only information you can get is from the communist government, right? Like, the internet has to be sanctioned as communist Chinese party friendly. Like, you can't get... People inside of Nazi Germany thought Hitler was running the country really well also, but people living in France and England didn't think that way. You gotta think of it in that sense. And I'm not calling like the Chinese Nazis or anything. I'm not doing that typical internet shit. This is just an apt description. It's not so much say Nazi and then run away thing. I'm deaf in the camp of make fun of Darkside Phil. Yeah, he deserves it. Fuck him. Wait, am I going the right way? No, I'm not. I'm an idiot. There we go. Ask anyone in Hong Kong about China. Yikes. Yeah. I mean, look at what they're doing in Hong Kong. You can't... Okay, so I can understand if you came at me and said, listen, some of the information you have about China may be incorrect, I'm 100% willing to believe that. Because, like you said, you lived in China. But at the same time, the things that I know about China are things that are real, like them suppressing free speech. That's totalitarian, and that's unacceptable in my opinion. I think suppression of freedom of speech is much worse than physically beating down your population. Like having actual boots on the necks, you know what I mean? Like when you keep people from talking, that's how all ideas are formed. No doctors during the epidemic were arrested. No, that's not true at all. The doctor who announced the epidemic is currently arrested right now as we speak. The internet is censored due to the people wanting it censored. The anti-China hate news makes even more people wanting it censored further. Dude, I'm sorry. Listen, just because people want something censored doesn't mean it's okay to censor it. And also, on top of that, okay, let's put it this way. You can go to jail right now for dissent in China. And that's one of the only first world countries where you can go to jail for dissenting against the government. Do you think that if you can go to jail for dissent, you would not agree with Chinese censorship? I think you're taking a very personal look at this, and you need to look at it more of a big picture type of thing. Like, the Chinese government are literally sending people to jail for political dissent. That's insanity. But let's say you're okay with that. If, you know, that's fine. If that's what your view is, you know, I disagree with it, but that's totally okay. But you're using that as proof, and you can't really use what people say under duress as proof that they really feel that way. Do you know what I mean? I think one of the docs died. Yeah. Died from corona specifically, yeah. No, I don't think he's trolling. I think he genuinely believes that. And I think that's perfectly okay. You know, I mean, me and Game Dev Made Easy have been talking for a long time now, so it's not like, you know, I'm offended by anything he's saying, but I do think you're incorrect in a lot of stuff you're saying. And now I'm not saying your experience in China is incorrect. What I'm saying is it's very easy to personally experience something that may not rationally be the case. You know what I mean? He lived there. He has a perspective. Yeah, I don't think he's trolling at all. I think he genuinely feels that way, and that's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, obviously, I'm going to disagree for sure, but I do think that, hey, if you feel that way, you know, this may be my platform as far as I'm streaming on it, but fuck it, man. You say whatever you want on here. Ah, fuck. I've never been hit by that guy before. Okay, so let's do this. I shouldn't have been shooting down. Ah, fuck you. I sure wish you would just step on those when we were done. Oh, he's not dead, is he? Fuck. Does it still? Fuck you. Alright, fuck it. I just wasted so many shotgun shells on your idiot ass. I disagree, Jared. You're looking at it from an American sensibility perspective. Yeah, I definitely am. But also, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, the American perspective is correct. Watch, this kills me. How much you want to bet? How much you want to fucking bet? Oh, fuck. I don't know if they can kill. No, I am looking at it from an American perspective. You're absolutely right about that. But I'm also looking at it from a personal liberty perspective. And I think no matter what country you're in, no matter whether or not you're a patriot or where your allegiances lie, personal liberty is not protected in China. That's all there is to it. You don't have free speech there. You can be jailed for dissenting against the government. You're not even allowed to criticize the ruler.
What
Like,
was that all
was
about?
it Ji Wuping, I think his
Running
name is?
off like that was
I completely, you know, making me look like I have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you're not allowed to criticize it, okay, so take, for example, I have an American perspective. Here in America, everybody clowns on Trump every day on the internet. Remember that one picture of him with that orange-ass fucking spray on his face? Like, that was genuinely funny. It would not be good if somebody were jailed for making that meme. That would objectively not be good to not allow those things to take place. You have to be able to criticize the government that you're operating under, because the government you're operating under needs to understand that you are what gives it its power. Like, that's very necessary. I think it's a matter of perspective, not of naivety. Yeah, I don't think you're naive at all. I think you are accurately describing things as you see them. So I want to make sure that's clear. I don't want anybody to think that Game Dev Made Easy is trolling or trying to get a reaction out of anybody. He genuinely feels this way, and this is his actual personal perspective. Hey Jared, what's your next video game series to do a retrospective on? I have not decided that yet, to be honest. I have a few things in the works. I will tell you this, which is kind of cool. Probably am going to do the Resident Evil live action movies starting pretty soon. Jinping? Is that what it is? Yeah. Right, Chinese version of personal liberty and political thought are very different. There are proper ways to criticize the government in China. The way we do it isn't correct for them. You're not allowed to criticize the government at all in China. That's why laws for political dissent exist. See, that's what I'm saying is it. No matter if I am looking at it from an American perspective. You're absolutely right, and it's probably gonna be really hard for me to break that perspective. I only know about living in America and staying in Japan, but I can tell you this right now: universally, civil liberty has to be upheld, and the Chinese government is not doing that. And if you think they are, like, there are literal camps where religious dissenters are held. If you're a part of a religious minority, the Uyghurs, I believe it is. I think it's a sect of Islam that exists in China, and those people are literally rounded up and put in camps. That's not a good thing, no matter what perspective you're looking at the situation from. Civil liberties have to be protected, because the citizenry has to understand that they are more powerful than the government. The government has to understand that they are there to serve the citizenry. It's very important. And it's not just it's important in America. That's legitimately an important thing, because otherwise it's very easy to treat people like shit if you believe they're beneath you. And that's why the U.S. government does as well as it does as far as liberty and free speech, because the U.S. government understands that they are at the whim of the citizenry at all times when it's working correctly. Obviously, nobody is going to say here that the U.S. government does what they're supposed to do correctly all the time. That is 100% not the case. And there have been instances, for example, during World War II, when Japanese people were put in internment camps here, which embarrassed the shit out of the government. And nowadays, going abroad, you're embarrassed for that having happened. I think the Chinese need a version of that. They need a government that understands that they are operating for its people and not above its people. So it's the last game in the Silent Hill series. Okay, so I did cover Silent Hill Homecoming last, and then we have Downpour and Book of Memories, and then I think I'll do the arcade game as the last one. Should I? I don't know. That's a rough one. Should I do the arcade game or Book of Memories last? I feel like doing the arcade game would be kind of ending on a pretty insubstantial note. Huh? Like, maybe? Oh, that was completely fake outrage and not based in reality. Well, I've seen where they're kept. It's like a FEMA camp. That's... Okay, let's say that you're correct and the place they're being held at is not... that you are rounding up
Leon,
a religious minority and keeping them a certain part of your country because you don't trust them. That wouldn't fly here, and I don't think it should fly in any country. I don't think people who have differing religious values should be quarantined from the rest of the populace. But yeah, let's change topics. I'm 100% down for that. And like I've said to people before, if you ask me a question, I will answer it. So sometimes I'll just keep going on and on. So definitely when I start ranting like this, you guys fucking let me know, please. Have I played the arcade game? No, I have actually never played it before. I've never played Book of Memories past the demo before either, and I've never played Downpour, so this will be a first for me all across. If you did RE Chronicles, you can do SH. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do the arcade game. I'm just wondering where I'm going to put it. So here's my question. So Annette, like a bio
Don't move.
researcher, is a sharpshooter as well? Come on.
Ada Wong.
Book of
They had a
Memories is
warrant.
pretty insubstantial.
Everyone
Yeah,
was there.
I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Now I remember. One of the men from Chicago who came to assist the T-virus research used his girlfriend's name as his password. Ada and John.
American McGee's Alice in Madness Returns
you
needs to have a
know?
retrospective.
Who
So
are
here's the
you?
thing, man. I am so not into
Annette Birkin.
platformers.
My husband's the
That game
man
looks really
responsible for the
fun, and
creation
it
of
seems
the
like the
T-virus.
atmosphere is up my alley, but I don't know
William.
that I'll ever play it.
What?
I can't stand
John's dead.
Psychonauts, and I know
He
everybody
became one
loves
of
that
those
game.
zombies,
I just
like
don't
me.
care about 3D platformers or
And
collectathons. You know what I
although
mean?
I regret this, you will be joining him shortly.
That demo made me
I
not
won't
buy
let
it. Yeah.
anyone take the
I think that game would have
T-virus
worked
from you.
really well if it was called something
T-virus?
else. But I keep saying that about all the Silent Hill
It's
games. I
capable
need to
of
find
creating the
some other
ultimate
drum to bang.
bioweapon. Its potential is even greater than that of the T-virus.
Very cool. Would like to see
Then
what you think of
that must mean the creature in the
Downfall.
police department is
I wonder if that was
Precisely.
a spelling error or
My
if that's
husband
actually a really
William.
funny joke at Downpour's expense.
and it's all Umbrella's fault. None
She
of
goes
this
to the
would have
range on
happened if they
weekends
hadn't
because
tried
William
to steal
Birkin's a
his
shit him
research
back.
away from him.
So there's a chance. She does not seem like she's being satisfied properly. Great work on the Silent Hill retros. Thank you very much, man. I'm still having a blast with that shit. I'm actually, just to change things up, I'm working on a Resident Evil video right now that I think people might get into.
My
Speaking of which, when I'm done streaming here, I gotta edit
no
that.
one will ever take you away from me.
Psychonauts is one of those quirky games for games journalists. Yeah, there's a lot of games that are specifically made for games journalists. So,
you finally
oh god, it's such a
Doctor, we're here to collect the G-virus sample.
it's such a slippery slope because I don't think that game's good. So anything I'm gonna say is obviously gonna be a criticism, but
You might hit the sample.
I feel like it's very easy to make a game. You know how there's Oscar bait, where you make a movie that specifically just checks all the boxes that you know the critics will enjoy, because the critics, they need to have this appearance of
I'm taking care of
getting into a higher form of the stuff they're criticizing, right? So if you're a video games journalist, you have to have a few boxes checked. Silent Hill 2, Psychonauts, name one of the walking simulators like Gone Home or Gone to the Rapture, whatever that is. It's a lot easier for you to assume people are being inauthentic when they have those boxes checked, when maybe they might legitimately get into Psychonauts, Silent Hill 2, and all that other stuff. It's just too easy, you know, to think, I don't think that guy's being dead serious.
What was that? Something's wrong. Let's check it out.
Curious if you heard the rumors on Sony obtaining Konami licenses. I don't think it's true. Yeah, I think it's confirmed not to be true. I think Konami came out and said it. And I think, honestly, I think that was Kojima trying to force Konami's hand, because if they got a bunch of people interested in it and it got a shit ton of press, he maybe thought Konami would be forced to sell the IP, or that Konami would see selling the IP as being financially viable. Konami has such an old school Japanese business mentality with their IPs, and they're just never giving them up. They lease them out, but they're not selling their IPs. And Sony wouldn't lease Silent Hill. They would buy it. Last of Us is a critic checkbox. But I have a hard time saying that because I fucking love The Last of Us, though. And I'm a critic. Holy shit. Am I a fucking...
As a result of his
Am I a hypocrite? Oh, no. Earthbound is one of those. You're absolutely right. Sweet shirt, Jared. Fuck yeah, AFI is the best. If you cut me, I fucking bleed AFI. And you know what? As a fan of old AFI, old punk rock hardcore AFI, I will tell you this right now. New AFI is still just as good. Just different. Coast to Coast recommendation for a survival horror game for a newcomer that isn't RE. Yeah, that. Also, thanks for commenting, Space Ghost. I've been a big fan since the late 90s. That's a good question. Okay, so if you're looking for an engaging and winding storyline, you got to go Silent Hill, right? Like, that is the recommendation that isn't Resident Evil. But if you're going for a more PC adventure game type of approach, Martian Gothic on the PS1, definitely that's the way to go. Other than that, if you're looking for like campy fucking cheap B-movie stuff, the Ring on the Dreamcast. Very campy and B-movie. It's fucking solid. It's really bad, but it's good.
Ada?
Curious. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Dude, please continue streaming. Your videos are the best survival horror game videos on any platform. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I will continue streaming because this shit's fun as hell. I do also stream on Twitch, but I'm going to start streaming more on here because, let's face it, I'm home and there's nowhere else to go. Second City Saint made it to the stream. You are here. We accept you for all that you are. All right, then. I suggest Deception 4, Blood Ties for the retrospective. I have... What is it called on the PS1? Kagero's Deception or something like that? I have that. That'd be fun. See, the thing is, for the retrospective, I want to cover games that I have like a dead serious emotional connection with. I will say this, as far as the next series to touch on, I've always wanted to cover the Dead Space games, because I really, really, really like Dead Space. Or at least the first game. So that's definitely on the list. Onimusha for sure, because there are some fucking great titles in the Onimusha series. I didn't bring it with me. Jared, you fool. It's like you're a first-timer. So Onimusha, Dead Space for sure. I already did the Parasite Eve series. I wanted to add it in because I love Parasite Eve so much. What else is a series I had in mind? So part of me would like to do Siphon Filter because I love the first two games so much, but I've never played any of the other games, and I don't think I have that type of emotional connection with the series. What else would be good? I have a couple of things that are kind of on the list. A lot of people always want me to do Fatal Frame, which I'm 100% down for because they look interesting. From what I played of the first one, I liked it. It was very survival horror-ish. AFI has always grown and changed with every album. Hell yeah, dude. I actually really like the techno stuff that Davey Havoc does. What's it called? Black something? Or something black? It's like Black, B-L-A-Q-U-E. So I had to make it very... I'm not using that. We've gotten by so far without a first aid spray. We're going to keep going. Yeah, Dead Space 1 I loved a lot, and I don't remember much of 2, so I'd be interested. But I do have nostalgia with Dead Space, so it has that like emotional connection for me. Am I the only one who got maybe a bit overly attached to the layout of Raccoon City? Only found myself a bit disappointed by changes made in Remake 2. After playing the demo for 3, I'm concerned. So I can't speak on that because I haven't played the demo for 3, but I will say after playing RE3 8 times in the last like 2 or 3 days, I'm a little attached to that layout myself. Have you played the D games? Would you consider doing a retrospective on them? D2 is definitely, in my opinion, the best game ever. So I did play D when it came out on PS1. I remember renting the PS1 long box. I used to love the PS1 long boxes. I don't know if I would cover the D series because I don't like D1 at all. And I don't really have, other than like renting it one day, I don't have like a shit ton of like, ooh, Breath of Fire retrospective. See, I would love to do more RPG stuff, and I'm going to. The only problem is, and it's super discouraging for me, even though I don't make the content I make specifically to get views, but this is like my job now. But when I do RPG videos, no one gives a shit, which sucks because I play more RPGs than survival horror games, so it's not even. I spend all of my time with survival horror games. But I would like to do Breath of Fire would be great because I've always been a big believer in Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. That game got just maliciously maligned for no reason at all. Such a good game. God damn, I love Dragon Quarter. It's different. It definitely does things differently, but it's good. Metal Gear, I would like to do Metal Gear, but fuck, there's a lot of analysis involved in that. I do really love the Metal Gear games, though, so you're not too far off with that. Have I ever tried Fatal Frame? No. Well, yes, I have played the first game, and I can't remember if I beat it or not. But I really liked the first game, and I rented the second game, and that was... I can't remember. Ooh, Front Mission. Now, that would make for a very interesting retrospective. Because I fucking love Front Mission 1. Absolutely love Front Mission 4. I do have the fan translation of Front Mission 5 on my PS2 that I need to play. And I never really played a lot of Front Mission 2. The Gun Hazard. Hey, people sub to Avalanche streams. That way, super chat. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. He makes a good point. Ooh, the lighting on that 3D object there, I don't remember seeing in the PS1 version. That's cool. God, it's so gross. I love it. Metal Gear is a lot. Yeah, that is my words exactly. Have I tried D2? No, I've actually never played D2. It'd be fun to play. As a matter of fact, that would be really fun to stream, now that I think about it. Yeah, Breath of Fire is so fucking good. So Breath of Fire 1 is very old school RPG. It has a very old RPG feel to its design and the way it works. Breath of Fire 2 was kind of coming into the modern age, which is dope. Breath of Fire 3 is one of the all-time great classics. But I'm gonna say something crazy here. I think Breath of Fire 4 is the better of the PS1 Breath of Fires, for sure. Front Mission 3 was my first. Yeah, I think 3 was also my first. But not too long after I played 3, I emulated Breath of Fire 1, if I remember correctly.
I just found out. John's dead.
I will never get tired of those pre-rendered backgrounds. No, me neither. They're too good.
Never mind. Let's just get out of here. The sooner the better.
Did I play the original Wild Arms? Yes, sir, I did. I love Wild Arms. I'm only really familiar with Wild Arms 1 and 2, though. Aside from just getting footage, I haven't played 3, 4... I did play Wild Arms. Oh, Christ, what was the strategy RPG on PSP? I played that, and I played the remake for Part 1 on PS2. Alter Code F, I think it is. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm not the only one who thinks Breath of Fire 4 is the best. That's good to hear. Oh, fuck, John. John's dead? No. I should have told you guys spoiler warnings. John dies. I'm playing Wild Arms 1 right now. Oh, such a good, like, soundtrack. And you know what? Wild Arms 1 was a really interesting glimpse into the Wild West that was development on the PS1. It was such early days back when that came out. And, like, you could still make a really interesting RPG with next to no knowledge of how 3D graphics work. And, like, oh, God. What an interesting time the PS1 era was. Have I ever tried the Clock Tower series? I played, I think it's the US Clock Tower 1, which is actually Clock Tower 2 in Japan. I played that on the PS1 and really liked it because it plays like an adventure game, and I love adventure games. But I haven't played any of the other games. Actually, one of my Patreon supporters, really good buddy of mine, sent me a box full of video games over here to try out, and Clock Tower 3 on the PS2 is in there right now. Let's do a retrospective on the original Friday the 13th and Jaws games. Aside from having dope-ass soundtracks, that's all I could say about them, because I do not like those games at all. Plus Dreamcatcher, plus Dream Car that he did with the members of No Doubt. Is that the one, I think there was members of No Doubt in that Black Audio. I think it's Black Audio, that's what it was. Never Gave You Flowers. What was that? I don't remember. Fuck, what the heck? I can't remember the name of that song, and it's killing me. I think it was Black Audio, and I thought members of No Doubt were also in that. Like, the bassist of No Doubt's in it. Black Audio, yeah, you were. I just looked up. It was Black Audio. I'm dumb. Ooh, Vanguard Bandits? I've actually never played that. Get him, Ada. Would you consider streaming The Suffering? I absolutely would consider that. That'd be fun as hell. We could play the PS2 version. I got that over there. Which game would be a good way to start with the Breath of Fire series? Okay, I will tell you this, and I really do like the first Breath of Fire game, but it is very user-unfriendly. It tries to say a lot with not a lot of text. It can be very cryptic as far as like where you should go next type of deal. So I would say that's probably the least easy to get into nowadays. Breath of Fire 2 will probably be much more your speed. It's the Breath of Fire formula, but just kind of jazzed up and made a little more Final Fantasy-ish, I guess. So I would say start with 2, but you're not gonna. I mean, 3 is fucking incredible. So I don't know. If you're not used to more of a classic JRPG on the SNES, which has a very distinct style, 3 or 4 will probably be more your speed for sure. Oh, I would love to see Condemned come back. Holy shit. Just this time with whoever wrote the first parts of the game, writing the second parts as well. Because holy shit, those games go off the rails real quick. Wrong way. Fatal Frame, yes, I am considering that, actually. But what I think what I would do is I would probably play through the first game and remember it and get all my thoughts down. And if it seems like a series that I want to continue with, then I'll definitely do a retrospective. But it's you know, it's so hard to explain. It's just got to have that something. You know what I mean? Like when you play a game and you know right from the start it's got what you really want. I need that. So we'll see. Oh, that's another thing I would like to do. Fucking, oh Christ, what are they called now? I can't remember the name. Ah, it's gonna piss me off. Fuck. Ah, they're PS1. They use tank controls. Very weird. Female protagonist. It's like a spy drama type of thing. I'm so mad I can't remember the name of this shit. Oh, it's gonna kill me. The Surge is kind of a reimagining The Suffering in a way. The Surge. Was that alien-based first-person shooter on the Wii? right? It's a little late for me right now, I think. Can't remember anything. The PS1 era still had Super NES and Genesis at the time. Didn't get a PS1 till a year after the PS2 dropped. So I had a similar situation. This is a really fun time, actually. So I was really into the PS1. Like, I was fucking... I gotta have this console. I was super into it. But I kind of grew up poor. And getting a PS1 was, like, not in the cards. We did not have a lot of money. So I remember one Christmas about 2 or 3 years after the PS1 launched. Me and my brother kind of would sneak into my parents' room to see what they had gotten us for Christmas, and we'd look under their bed because they'd always hide the presents under their bed. Like, we had no idea that they were there. Come on. So they figured out that we were looking under the bed and saw those Christmas presents, and they fucking nailed us. What they did was they came and sat us down in the living room, and me and Justin were like, fuck, they know, right? So we prepared ourselves for that, and they go, listen, we know that you've been looking under the bed at where your Christmas presents are, and we just wanted to let you know because we didn't want you to get your hopes up. The family from down the street, who were friends of me and my brothers, they asked us to hold their presents so their kids wouldn't, figure out that what they had and stuff, and that's their PS1 that's in there. And we didn't want you guys to, you know what I mean, wake up on Christmas Day and just feel like disappointed. And me and my brother were like, oh, heartbroken. We had our hearts set on that fucking PS1. And then on Christmas morning, we opened the box. It was the PS1, and we fucking lost our minds. We assumed, like, no way, we're not getting it, They fucking pulled it over on us hard. Fear Effect, that is it. The Fear Effect, that was it. Oh shit, what's up, Brian? How you doing, man? Oh, I see how it is, Brian. You're choosing Grant over me? How fucking dare you? How's everyone holding up in their bunkers? Me holding up in my bunker is why I'm streaming on YouTube now. It's like, I needed a break from editing anyways. Might as well fucking stream. Oh, damn. It does suck that you're working 54 hours, but I'll tell you that one thing. In a month, that's going to be a really good thing. You're not going to worry about working so many hours because you're going to have an income. Where a lot of us, that's not happening. Only thing I'm good at requires me being around people, and a lot of those industries are fucking zipped up. I can install like high-end home theater gear, but nobody wants anyone walking in their house right now. I can lay cement, but there's no fucking construction companies hiring right now. And I can do security, but restaurants and bars are shut down in my area, so... I wish I wasn't done. Yeah. I will be honest. It feels weird being cooped up in my house like this, but I've enjoyed the time off. I only ever worked on Fridays and Saturdays at my other job because the YouTube stuff is the full-time gig. But even just having those two things felt like it was eating into how much time I could write and how much time I could capture footage and edit and stuff like that. So it is kind of cool to be able to chill a little bit.
Me? Come on, snap out of it.
My Y2K food now has a use. There's no way you have Y2K supplies. You're my favorite person if you do. Gotta head out. Be safe, man. Thank you very much. Salty Scrams. Have a good one. Thanks for hopping by. I miss the gym so much it hurts. Oh, God. I've lost so much weight, and I'm positive it is all muscle mass. I know how you feel. We were pretty poor until I was in high school as well. My mom stayed at home until we were older, saved for 2 years for a PS1, got it in April after FF7 came out with FF7 RE Director's Cut. And you got in at the right time, man. Yeah, I remember, so we had the PS1, and Final Fantasy VII was just coming out. And me and my dad and my brother, this was the Christmas after we got the PS1. Me and my dad and my brother went to Best Buy because my dad wanted to get a gift for my mom. And, oh, fuck. Fuck you. What the fuck are you doing, Leon? He's gonna... Don't do what you want to do. See, a smart person would have brought the Magnum. But you guys know I'm not smart. Anyways, alright, finish my damn story. So, me and my brother are sitting there in Best Buy, and we get a hold of a little kiosk that's playing the Final Fantasy VII demo, and we were just fucking mega into it, because we were huge RPG nerds at the time. Still are, both me and him. And we're playing the shit out of it and fucking loving every minute of it. And we were talking afterwards. We kind of like left as the store was closing. Can we do it? Did I? Oh god, thank god. On danger. Also, I didn't know you could shoot the screen right there, so that's interesting. So we were talking to my dad, like, oh man, I can't wait. One day we got to save up and buy FF7. And my dad was like, oh, I wish you would have been, I would have bought it for you. And we were like, you son of a fucking bitch. Leon, what happened? So will this channel be your secondary archive aside from Twitch? Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna stream on both still though.
Come on.
Too many games coming out right now, so I could use a few weeks off.
Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Dried beans and rice from 1997. That won't get any better than that. I'm just building more fat every day. I'm actually losing a decent amount of fat. I've been trying to run at least 2 miles every day. I got up to just this close to 4 miles today. I only had a Nest before that. Dad got us a Nest in like 92 when they were on clearance because the SNES was out. Yep.
Hey, take it easy.
So me and my family
Inside umbrellas
had to
in
move
your
in
lap.
with my
I'll go
aunt,
find
my
something to
uncle,
treat
and my
that
cousins
wound, so just
after
rest here
Hurricane
in the
Andrew because
meantime.
we all lived in Miami.
But
And
I'll only slow you down with these injuries.
so
Go.
me and my brother had a Sega
Baby.
Genesis. They had a Super Nintendo.
I told you, it's my job
And
to look after you.
My cousins were older than us, so they didn't let us use their Super Nintendo because they're fucking
I know
assholes.
I've only known you.
So the Super Nintendo was
of
always the
time,
console that I like
but I really
lusted
enjoy
after. Like,
being
oh
with you.
god, it'd be great to have one of my own.
I
I didn't own a Super Nintendo of
I
my own
know.
until I was an adult.
I'm not
It's
capable
insane.
of caring about anyone.
I borrowed people's Super Nintendos. Like the
I
first
don't
time I
want to
played through
lose
Final
you.
Fantasy VI was on a
we're
borrowed
leaving
Super
this
Nintendo.
place together.
It's crazy.
Wait here for me. I'll be right back.
Oh man, I'm burping like crazy right now. I can't believe I took that much fucking damage. I should have brought that fucking Magnum. I'm an idiot. I'm on paid leave for the next 20 days and ready for RE3 and FF7. Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. My wife's company was nice enough to pay her because she's a manager there, so she still has to do some work, but she's doing all right, which is pretty cool. She's my sugar mama right now. Yes, please. Thank you. My dad bought us a PS1 in Christmas '99 with RE3 and the Crash 2 demo. Ooh. Not a bad way to do it. I never really got into the Crash games myself, other than like appreciating their graphics. Didn't really care too much for them. I don't really have anything against them either. It's just like not really up my alley. Sega does not do what Nintendo don't. The Genesis is a fucking garbage console compared to the Super Nintendo. And like I said, I'm someone who owned it. But even as an owner of a Genesis, I can admit the fucking sound chip on a Genesis is flat out garbage. That is such a piece of shit. There were some composers that were able to make the Genesis sound hardware that Yamaha chip sing. Most of them couldn't. And it's because it's not so much the chip itself, but it was the way that you had to go about programming that chip. It was really fucked up. But god damn it, I would say 98% of the music on the Sega Genesis is flat out trash, not to be listened to. Sad story. It was the year 2000, Christmas. 2 large boxes for me and my older brother. He opens it. For him, a PS1. I open mine. For me, the Polystation. No. You don't even need to explain. Oh, God, that's a rough situation, man. Oh, fuck. My heart goes out to you. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good at all. Is it here? Genesis was the first console I played with. Yeah, the Nintendo NES was mine, but the Genesis was the first console that me and my brother owned that was ours. And the Nintendo was actually my dad's, and he wouldn't let us play when he was playing. There's room to love the audio from both consoles. Some of my favorite music from the well-composed Mega Drive games. Yeah, I mean, no, it had some, like, for example, Silent Hill 1 and 2, balls to the wall, amazing soundtrack. Phantasy Star 4, it has some shitty sound effects, but the composition of the music is fucking incredible. Streets of Rage, amazing. Some of the shooters, good. But you have to keep in mind, that's like not even 1% of the Genesis library, you know what I mean? So as a kid, I'd be renting games from Blockbuster, and they would all sound like garbage, and certain hits would sound like farts, you know what I mean? Like, it is not a good sound chip at all. And that's coming from somebody who fucking loves Genesis RPGs. It's a bad sound chip. It's poorly implemented into the hardware, and it's very fucking hard for people to code for. But there are, like I said, there are some fucking soundtracks out there on the Genesis that blow me away with how amazing they are. I think Silent Hill 2 is probably the main one for me. Okay, hopefully there's some green herbs in here, or else we are fucked. Sega Master System was the first console in my house. See, I have never actually put my hands on a Master System before. It's so crazy to think about. Like, that there's a video game console out there that no joke, I didn't know about the Master System until I was an adult. I had no idea it even existed. Hey, thanks, Jared. Yeah, fuck, man. It's a rough situation. I feel for you. My dad had a black Atari 2600 that he won at those shoot the star things at the fair. That's pretty fucking cool. You know, I never got into the like ColecoVision or the Ataris. Pretty much any of the microcomputers I didn't get into, and I really, really do not like European microcomputer game development. That's some fucking bad games, man. It is stupid how much ammo they take. Masturbator system. It's not bad. I expect better from you, though. Only game I played on a Genesis was at a friend's house called Altered Beast. That had actually a decent soundtrack. Very weird game for me, though. So you could use the flamethrower here, but their fucking spit is mega toxic. And you have to wait till their fucking things stop. I wonder if I can actually set them on fire. No. Oh, you piece of shit. Okay, so there are, I think, 2 green herbs out here. Have I ever played Kingdom Hearts? So I beat the first Kingdom Hearts. Oh, there's no noise at all from that. That's crazy. So yeah, I beat the first Kingdom Hearts, and me and my wife both played through part 2 separately on our own and got stuck at the same exact spot. I don't really like Kingdom Hearts that much. I love action RPGs, but something about Kingdom Hearts just doesn't do it for me. I like the idea behind them, though. I think the idea of like combining Disney and Squaresoft characters is like fucking awesome. It's a super cool idea. I just didn't think it worked very well in practice. Will this be a full run? Yeah, why not? I mean, we're already here. Leonhardt, do I play any fighting games? Ooh, I fucking love fighting games. Right now, the only thing I play, though, is I'm relatively competitive at Street Fighter V, and I am very amateur at Injustice 2, which I just got back into. Just trying to get my Black Canary back. I still have a few links with Black Canary, but nothing super solid. And I have really bad fucking fundamentals in that game. He doesn't know I'm there. Surprise, motherfucker. Technically, I haven't ran yet. Am I going to cover PT? So I thought about that. I don't know if I will. I do have somebody who follows me on Twitter was nice enough to message me and said, hey, listen, I can lend you my PS4 so you can get footage of PT. And that's so fucking nice of him. I don't know, though, because I have a very specific idea of what Silent Hill is, and I don't think PT is that. But it was a part of the series, so I might have to take him up on that offer, actually. Fuck, I might have to do it. Damn it, you guys, you talked me into it without even... Damn it. Fuck. Oh, my brother only mostly played sports games. I can't... Me and my brother both grew up kind of despising sports games. He ended up getting into them later on in life, but... I never got into sports stuff. Nintendo Nation. Jared, this is my first stream. Are you planning on reviewing RE3 Remake soon after it releases, or are you going to finish with your Silent Hill reviews first? Good question. I am 100% planning on reviewing RE3 Remake. But, and this is some insider baseball, I am not going to be able to... I didn't get like a review copy of RE3 Remake before it came out, so I'm going to have to wait until it launches to review it. So in the meantime, I have a video put together on all of the ports that RE3 has ever had. That way people kind of have some RE3 related content while I'm reviewing the remake. So that'll be fun. Jared, PT is just a demo. No, I know, but it was supposed to be the jumping off point for what Silent Hill was going to be. And I don't like PT in the sense of it being a Silent Hill game. I think PT would have made a very interesting puzzle-based horror game, but I don't like PT as Silent Hills. Like I said before, I don't think Kojima knows how to write horror very well, or I don't think he can. But on top of that, did I already? No, okay. on top of that, he's touching Silent Hill. And Silent Hill is a very specific... I know a lot of people tend to think like, oh, it's whatever you make of it. That's not the case. Silent Hill is a very specific thing, and all the games lead up to a very specific thing. And I'm trying not to spoil anything, just in case people here haven't played through all the Silent Hill games. And I think PT would have been a not good direction for what that is for Silent Hill. It's a very subtle series, and it lays on its horror in a very fucking non-surface level way. And you have people like Kojima, who is a great writer for what he does. He's like, when he's essentially writing a Tom Clancy book, he's at his best. He's doing incredible, and I love his work with that. I just do not think that work would translate well into show don't tell, because he's all about tell don't show. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan and a huge Avalanche Reviews fan. Oh, fuck yeah, man. Thank you. I am happy to put out content that people actually watch. It's pretty insane. Oh, please don't. Okay, so maybe you guys couldn't work in tandem to keep me from leaving this room. There we go. I don't know where that other guy came from, honestly. I thought I accounted for every zombie in that room. Kojima can't write. This coming from Metal Gear fanboy. No, I think he can. He just can't write in a way that most people enjoy. Like, for example, with the Metal Gear games, every single character is constantly just throwing up expository dialogue, right? Like, everything to Kojima is expository dialogue, which is fine because that works for me. You know, in some instances, it wouldn't work in a horror game, I don't think. Don't. I should have brought the fucking flamethrower. That's cool. Oh, my eyes bothering me. Yeah, but it's crazy to think the time wait, hold on. In the time growing, the memory of RE3 never faded, even if I didn't play it on time. So I search it and discover the RE series and later play and love it. Oh, fuck yeah. If it got you in there. It's like your gateway drug, right? Oh, is it John? I forget. Ah, damn it. I totally forgot what it is. Can I exit out? There we go. Fuck, I'm gonna have to read through a fucking... There we go. Ah, okay, so they changed it on N64. I was about to say, I thought it was Guest. Okay, cool, it's Nemesis. That's a nice little tie-in, huh? Even though Nemesis would never come out on the N64. Do you have a favorite mainline RE non-zombie enemy, like a Licker or Hunter? Licker for sure. I have a figure of a Licker my wife got me for Christmas, and I love it. Nemesis. Love your retrospectives. Now I love your streams. Hell yeah, man. Happy to be a little bit of entertainment in a fucking really weird time right now. So I think it was cathartic to be a little boy and watch your older brother play a really difficult game, a really spooky and difficult game. Yeah, so I always talk about my brother because me and my brother for the longest time shared a bedroom. Like I said, you know, we grew up poor. We didn't have enough money for everybody to get their own bedroom. And me and my brother used to play through video games. We would just take turns, and it was never really a thing we thought about. You know, me and him just played video games together. It's just the way it was. And I watched him play a bunch of video games. As a matter of fact, for those of you who are familiar with Parasite Eve 2, you know, the sliding block puzzle inside the Acropolis. I, to this day, can't beat that without a strategy guide because I used to give it to my brother for him to beat. It was a fucking fun time, man. We'll keep you. Oh, my eye's fucking up on me. So when are you gonna hear me sing the songs that I played with my old band? I don't know if I could ever do that on stream. I don't think I'm set up to do that right now. Just be screaming into the microphone, blowing everyone's eardrums. Besides, even though I toured around the country doing that shit, it's still really embarrassing to do in an intimate setting. You know what I mean? Like, even to this day, like, I've performed in front of like thousands of people before. On a good day. It wasn't always like that, but still to this day, to get up in front of like 25 people in one of my classrooms is like nerve-wracking as shit. Grant R6 in the house. This streamer sucks. Grow some hair, bitch. Why don't you grow a beard that isn't lame? Am I gonna stream more consistently? Yeah, here on this channel specifically, yes I am. I do still stream on Twitch, but I know there's a lot of people that just don't give a shit about Twitch, and I don't blame them. So for those people, this channel will exist, and I'm going to try to, I mean, once a week for sure. Let's hope for more than that, though. What's crazy is that there is double the amount of people watching now than there is on Twitch, which, yeah, that's insane, but I get it, though. It makes a lot of sense. Fucking Twitch can be, I don't know why, something about Twitch just doesn't make sense in my head. It just doesn't add up the same way YouTube does. I don't know why. It doesn't, like, there's no real reason for it. I don't know. Did that while you were still screaming in front of thousands of people. Fool, you know. First off, I've seen, oh no, I just saw a picture of you performing. Never mind. I didn't actually see you perform. I used to make my sister progress the puzzles of Mega Man Battle Network. Yeah, that's the way, man. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we can do one thing in there, right? Beep. Ugh. Oh, we don't have another one, do we? No. Personally, I can't watch on Twitch because my garbage phone can't run the app for shit. YouTube streams run way better. Yeah, not only that, but YouTube allows you to choose what, bit rate. So if, for example, if you're on a limited data plan or something like that, you can still watch YouTube streams, and it just seems crazy to me that Twitch doesn't have that type of integration. Like, I have to be like a big time streamer, which I'm never gonna be, to pull that kind of weight, and that sucks. Yeah, Twitch has a lot of shit I just don't get. It's probably because I'm a bad streamer, though. I'm a bad streamer in the sense, I don't fucking care what games are popular or what, I'm just gonna play whatever the fuck I want to. And that means sometimes people are not gonna give a shit about watching me play it. fuck, don't. I said not to. Oh, we actually pushed both of them this time. We're just wasting ammo at this point because we know it's the end of the game. Oh, fuck. We're pretty low on ammo. Okay. We might have to use the shotgun. God, that's satisfying. You know, they can actually still grab onto you after you've done that to them. It just doesn't do any damage. Do I think Resident Evil 4 remake will happen? I don't think so. It doesn't seem like the right play. I think it would be harder to make Resident Evil 4 fit in with the overall, like, redone universe that Resident Evil has right now than it would be to make 2 and 3 fit. Hardcore strumming. Just beat RE4 on there tonight. Yeah, but you're kind of shit at it. I was watching you play. Wait, no, what were you playing before that I watched? I don't know, whatever it was, you were shit at it. I remember that much. Have I tried the RE3 remake demo? Nah. I'm staying away from that shit. I want to come in blind.
You murdered my husband. I know what you're looking for.
Don't mean to be a downer, but Ken Shimura died from coronavirus. Who? What did I? My wife told me that, and I didn't recognize his name. I'm gonna look him up right now.
Now, where's that spy you were working with earlier? You know who I'm talking about.
What?
The comedian?
You really don't know anything, do you? You're so gullible. She's one of the
Oh shit, is this that show? No way. Okay, this is what I thought it was. I don't think I'm really familiar with anything he's been in. It sucks that he's dead though, that's shitty.
No, it's the truth.
Grant, did you know they're remaking RE3? Bullshit. Prove it, motherfucker. They'll remake 1? I think that would... I think they're moving in that direction, that remaking RE1 makes sense. You know what I mean?
Ada wouldn't do something like that.
If you don't want to believe it, I don't really care.
S rank saves no deaths. Weed run. You know I'm not a good weed runner. You know that.
What happened?
You stream for your enjoyment, also not just ours. Play games you can sit there and enjoy for hours. Not just a popular game for the sake of views. You're a streamer, not a seller. Yeah, that's my I guess my outlook on all that.
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been
Where did I
activated.
put the modisc?
This
Oh,
sequence
that's
may
right.
not
It's in that
be
hallway, I
aborted.
think.
All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Oh, really? Interesting. So he was in JJ and Jeff on TurboGrafx 16. Oh, okay. So was he... Interesting. All right. That's crazy. I think RE2 has better voice acting than Remake 2. That's another one of those situations where I think there might be... one is better at a certain thing. RE2 Remake has very how to explain it? So OG RE2 is a very, very refined version of the kind of B-movie voice acting that was in part 1, but in RE2 it's written to a much better degree, and it's much more skillfully brought across, but it has sort of, kind of that B-movie feel to it, but it has a very earnest feel to it as well. Whereas RE2 Remake feels like a big Hollywood film that would have been written currently in the 2020s, where the dialogue, instead of being worried about saying like awesome one-liners or something, the dialogue feels more like real people interacting with each other and not reading from a script, which is really popular right now. kind of makes people feel a little more realistic, I guess. I don't know. Wait, why is that not open? Oh, that's on the B scenario that opens, isn't it? I'm an idiot. Okay, so then I'm gonna have to use the mode disk reader. I don't remember where it is. Yeah, let's assume it's in this room, maybe. Yeah, fuck it. I think RE8 is going to be first person or like the remakes. So, man, that could go 50-50, honestly. I thought I heard a liquor. Yeah, that could go either way. They could be keeping the third person stuff for the remakes. That just seems like a waste of assets and of an engine. I mean, they're going to use RE engine regardless, but it just seems like a waste of all that work not to continue in that process. But RE7 did relatively okay. I think, though, given the right amount of time, RE2 Remake will have outsold RE7, and I think that will determine what they're going to do, to be honest. I forgot what the fuck I'm supposed to do with the fucking Mo disc. Why do I keep trying to go through here? A, I haven't used the Mo disc. Jared. Idiot. Allison Court is Claire, but I really like the new version. It surprises me, and Leon is more feet on the ground and less sensitive. Yeah, I think so. I think both of their characters feel a lot more real, like they exist in the real world in the remake. But I do like the fantasy characters of RE2 OG, you know?
Leon.
Oh, you have to go down there where the liquors were, you fucking idiot, Jared.
I've been waiting for you, Leon.
Yeah, they sound more human in the
What are you
remake, in my
doing?
opinion. Yeah, for sure. But this
You
feels
know
more
what
like a
this is about.
90s action
So
flick,
just
and
hand
it gives
over the
that type
G
of
virus.
performance. And I think that there's a value in that as well.
I don't believe this. Annette was right. About everything.
That's why I told you to leave without me, but you wouldn't listen. Now hand it over. Don't
I actually
make
loved
me
RE7,
shoot
so
you.
I'd be down for another first-person game, but I'd be happy either way. Yeah, I think I would be happy either way, but I do have a preference towards the third-person stuff, I think. I think the way that I think about it is them going in a first-person direction would be sort of robbing me of that third-person experience.
Ada. I've
But
got
in
you.
reality, what I would
Don't
want from a
give up.
Resident Evil game is fixed cameras and fucking tank controls, and I'm never going to get that, so...
Leon, it's over.
They already confirmed 8 and 9 will be first person, I believe.
Shut up.
Oh, interesting.
You
I did
gotta
not
make
know
it.
that. OSSC looks like shit, man. So back to emulation.
Too late.
Nah, fool, this is the N64. This just looks bad in general.
Oh,
OSSC's killing it right now.
No.
It's much better than the Frame
I
Meister look,
promised you that
which is
we
hard
would
for me to
escape.
admit, trust me.
You just have to help me out here.
I really wanted.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but at least now I know your fucking last name, Grant, so you fucked.
Everything.
Yeah, it's getting swatted immediately.
Ada!
Dude, this song is, ooh, God, give me the vapors over here.
No.
Sound effects right there would have made that a little more impactful, though. That compressed audio quality, though, yeah, it's heavily compressed.
So.
Fixed cameras are out, sadly. Wish they'd redo 4 in this style. Oh, God, that'd be incredible. But, you know, I say that, but maybe that's not the case. I think what Resident Evil, at least for me personally, I know this isn't for everybody, what made Resident Evil so fucking magical was the subject matter, along with all the other shit. Like, this world is what really interests me. You know what I mean? I think RE4 in this style wouldn't be as endearing. Hit a bong. Rip. You don't like emulation? No, I don't. Emulation is the reason why I know that Chrono Trigger exists and Front Mission. I like emulation. I just don't like using it for when I'm critiquing a game, because I like, for my experience with the game, to be as close to vanilla as possible, so that when I say like, hey, yeah, it's weird, like the game does this at this one part, everybody also will have had that experience, and I'm not just saying, you know what I mean? Like if I were to review like fucking PC games or something. I did not mean to fucking. There we go. Like if I was gonna review a PC game, my experience would be so wildly different from someone who was running on different hardware or something. You know what I mean? If I was reviewing emulation, there would be too much of a chance that something I would talk about would be due to emulation and not due to the actual game. And I kind of feel like I appreciate games a lot more when I play physical copies of them. So I still use emulation to this day. Like, I don't have an issue with it. I would just rather, if I'm putting content on my channel, for it to be backed up by a physical copy of what I'm playing. Ada dies. Or does she? I think with the earlier games, the setting of the games is its own character. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think so. And it's what gets me in there. Shit, Jared. You're not going to do well with this. Fuck. Okay. And we didn't save either, so this is going to have to really count. Dude, solid shot, Jared. Oh, fuck you. Okay, okay. Now we're good. We are good. How could I have even accounted for that? Fucking asshole. God damn it. I'm so fucking bad. Let's see how long ago we saved. Monitor room. Should we even... fuck it. We're doing it. Gosh dang it. I got owned. Other companies should take their IPs and do what Capcom is doing. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I kind of hope is sort of happening. Let's do this now. Get rid of you. I'll just use the fucking flamethrower from now on. Alright, no more taking damage. Not allowed. William twerking. Okay, so what we're gonna need to do is pick up this red herb. For sure. Jesus, Jared, get it through your bald ass head, you suck. Wait, I admitted that. Fuck you. That wasn't my bad, though. That was on the game. 100% the game is cheating. We all saw it. Oh, fuck. See, you know the worst part is, too? I really, really wanted to go to sleep. But I can't leave this undone. How about this? Fuck you, fool. There could have been a little bit more of a reaction from getting hit with the flamethrower, I think. Oh yeah, this is a super interesting port. So not only did they compress a shit ton of data onto a 64 megabyte cartridge, but the way that they did it was incredibly interesting. And I talked about in the beginning of the stream, they actually got higher quality assets as far as audio goes than the PS1 disc did, because the guy who built the oh fuck, did I do my homework today? Oh shit, I hope I did my homework. I can't remember. Anyways, the guy who built the compression algorithm, like, just fucking did a killer job apparently, and it was better than anything anybody had fucking seen at the time or some shit. Hey, rewind Mike, you suck. Fuck you. Don't you ever disrespect me by using that name. Easy baby mode? Nope. We are on regular difficulty. I'm not like you. Not playing through Silent Hill 4 on easy mode. And as far as everybody that's listening to this knows, that's exactly what you did. I have all the power here. Call me Buff Rewind Mike all you want. It means I'm buff. I'm cool with that. I dare the video game industry to make one good game. Don't. They're not going to do it. There's nothing more annoying than remake and the original sharing the same name. Yeah, I was actually looking for an RE2 wallpaper today for this stream, and it's impossible finding OG RE2 assets nowadays. Game is probably favorite game is probably the Bible. You have always been very devout. That's what I appreciate about you, Grant. That's what I appreciate about you. Oh yeah, we can get rid of that too. Ah, I should have used up my Magnum rounds. Does it work the same way? Okay, let's find out. We might as well. We'll use the Magnum on those liquors, and let's see if when you combine them, you get a full clip. So that would be interesting. It's not a text adventure. It's more like a choose your own. Oh, fuck you. Now I'm on. Cock-sucking piece of shit. It does. Okay, well, at least we know that. Fucking asshole. Guess who's using a green herb now? Ah, we could wait. The final stretch, yeah, again. Any thoughts on Kojima's new IP? I think because he got so much media interest in the whole horror game thing, he's going to go in that route. I don't know how he's going to work his current fucking cabal of Hollywood actors into it, but he will. It just seems so weird to see somebody so obsessed. He's like a star fucker, you know? It's just odd as shit. The game would be a lot scarier if Leon did some backflips to dodge attacks. Wouldn't it, though? Have I played the Gabriel Knight series? No, I'm super fucking picky with my adventure games. I like, okay, so if anybody's ever played Still Life, essentially that. I like murder mystery stuff that take place in more or less the real world, and I like the fictional, like, sci-fi elements to be as non-existent as possible. So I loved Still Life. What's some other point-and-click adventure games I really got into? I'm actually taking that. In the hope of actually finishing this run, we're going to actually maybe possibly use a first aid spray. I feel grimy even saying that. Actually, speaking of, no, I did like... Fucking piece of shit. Why didn't I aim up? This is no time to leave things to chance. Oh. Out of fucking fuel. Oh, I'm so tired of this fucking game and everything it's about. We're using a fucking first aid spray. Oh, you piece of shit. I would run out of fuel right when he got within biting range. My fucking luck. He got this. Maybe. Point and click with RPG elements? What's that? Always play on these quarantines is Grant Apologist 101. Yeah, you're good at it though.
Husband, I know what you're looking for. You came for the G-Virus, didn't you? But you'll never take it from me. This is my husband's legacy.
Still Life is great, but the ending is horrendous. I kind of liked it a little bit. I will say this though, I did not like what Still Life 2 turned into. The like crazy like escape mechanics, like the puzzles turned into something different. I didn't like it.
You're so gullible. She's one of the operatives sent here by the agency.
I know.
The reason why she
I know,
came
Mets
here is to
Gamer. It's
obtain the G-Virus.
so far this has been the first aid spray that we've actually used in beating a Resident Evil
No,
game
it's
on
the
stream.
truth.
So
I discovered this when I did a background check on her.
it's crazy how bad this grandpa game is. The only good thing that it fleshed out the character is for the best RE, which is 6,
That
obviously.
can't be. I know her. Ada wouldn't do something like that.
Spray used, restart a riot.
If you don't want to believe it, I don't.
I deserve it, I do.
You're about to die anyway. What happened?
How are you doing bad? You're great at RE games. You beat the Gravedigger with only a knife. In my defense, I have been playing nothing but RE3 this entire time, so I'm a little not used to RE2. But also this game, specifically the PS or the N64 version of RE2, I don't know. It might be my D-pad. I'm using like an actual Nintendo brand controller and not some cheap-ass third-party deal, but there seems to be, I don't know, like a floatiness to the way the controls respond. It's hard to explain. I was playing RE3 with the GameCube pad and doing pretty fucking decently, but something about this just isn't doing it for me.
Leon.
Did Tammy come through here tonight? No, actually, she's
I've
not
been
on any
waiting for
social
you.
media. I gotta email her and tell her about this place.
What are you doing?
You know what this is about. So just hand over the G-Virus.
I don't believe this. Annette was
Life
right.
has many endings depending on your
Not
choices and actions. That's true. An infinite amount,
That's
some
why I
would say.
told you to leave without me, but you
Yeah, the
wouldn't
D-pad
listen.
itself, like physically, is pretty
Now
good,
hand it
but
over.
it feels like
Don't make me shoot you.
I don't know. It's harder to hit diagonals. I don't know what it is. I replayed RE3 on PSN and found out new stuff. The
Ada.
hanging crate nemesis. Wait, the hanging
Ada.
crate nemesis
got
fall
you.
from the sky.
Don't give up.
So when I did my video on RE3, I thought everyone knew that. I shot down the crate and it fell on the monster, and I had a bunch of comments saying, "Holy shit, I never knew you could do that." And I was like, "Oh, that's the first thing I tried. That's crazy."
Shut up. You're gonna make it.
It's too late, Leon.
Snake7753. I think
Oh,
Chris.
no,
I don't think Chris looked cool in
No.
Part 7,
I
but I
promised
think
you that we
he
would
looked
escape.
like
You just have to help me out here.
his look fit with the new Resident
really
Evil
want
universe that they're trying to build. So I kind of feel like they're gonna keep
Escape
weird Uncle Chris.
everything. Bye.
Am I missing something because RE4 isn't my favorite game ever? No. At the very least, me and you are in that one together. Resident Evil 16, Old Leon. Why are we here? Just to suffer.
No.
I shot the crate by accident. Yeah, I remember seeing the crate and seeing it was a 3D object, and I was like, oh, I know I can fucking interact with this. I hope the Dino Christ lady costume is in RE3. Sorry, I don't know her name. Oh, it's Regina. Redhead. Sassy ass redhead. I don't want Chris to be ripped again. I don't know. I kind of liked him being ripped. I thought everybody freaked out about that, and I'm like, honestly, you give someone like 7 years and a gym membership, they can get that way. It's not as crazy as everybody kind of made it out to be. I hate these fucking things. Yeah, so I will say that I think Chris's new look, like I said, it fits in more with that like new RE universe they're building. His new look, the less muscular thing, does play into that very grounded, which sounds weird to say about a Resident Evil game, the very grounded, like modern 2000s movie look that they're trying to go for. I think it kind of fits that way. In that sense, I think it works. I didn't mean to do that. And then he gets me. I fucking hate this game so much. I can't stand it. Also, to answer that previous question before, beating the Gravedigger with a knife is actually fairly easy. It's not... if you actually give it a try, it's not the most difficult thing in the world, for sure. No, but typically... on a PS1 run of RE2, I can get through it with a solid fucking clear time. Like, not world record shit, but like pretty fucking decent. And I can get through with only saving once, but that's because I'm paranoid and I don't want to lose all that fucking progress. But I don't know, something about this N64 version is not agreed with me. Shit. You know, fuck it. Why? Who cares? We're not speedrunning right now, Jared. Chris in 2009. How you doing, fellow kids? Yeah, see, my problem with Buff Chris was his triceps looked fucking retarded. And the problem with Resident Evil 5 is you're always behind him, so you're always getting a shot of his triceps, and they did not model them, which I know sounds stupid because he's like super muscular and he's in a video game, but like they did not model his triceps realistically, and it bothered the shit out of me. And then I made a comment on that on my video, and a lot of people were like, no, actually you can get your triceps to look that way, blah blah blah, as if like I didn't work out non-stop and I didn't understand the human physique very well. It's like, no, I get like people can get big. I'm saying the shape of his bicep isn't like achievable without some type of dead serious injury. Like, if you ever seen somebody who's torn their tricep makes this odd, like really weird fucking shape. But Chris's triceps in RE5, no. As someone with huge triceps, I can tell you, no. Oh, for sure, yeah. This shotgun specifically. I remember the first time I ever beat RE2, I didn't get the custom shotgun parts. And, oh, fuck me. I fucked up. Because this is just the most satisfying, and the amount of, like, pushback it has, ugh, can't be beat. I think we only need 2 more shots, right? Oh, cool, we found a shoot the screen spot. His triceps took up 70% of the screen. Anyone here really want a new Outbreak game? I think that's what they're going for with Project Resistance, right? I really would like to see, or you know what would be really interesting, and I know this would be super hard to do, but modders are doing so well with, oh fuck, with modifying Outbreak for English players. I want to see that get put into like new mission packs. That'd be fucking incredible. Oh, Lordy coming. Hey Jared, run into him, please. Okay, can't do that anymore, Jared. I was like, oh, we'll just unload and fuck it. Okay, so there, all right, do it. Fucking, I dare you. We're back on caution. Okay, no. Well, he's close. Oh, thank God. He took the damage after his attack. How crazy is that? Resistance is boring? I haven't touched it yet. Is this Death Stranding? I actually have Death Stranding sitting on the shelf over there. I really need to fucking play it. It's not like I haven't had enough fucking time. So I was playing with my dog and he bit my nose. It's bleeding now, but as soon as he saw the blood, he looked very, aww. Little doggo didn't want to hurt you. Well, people, we did it. I think the Scanner, Moira, and stupid little girl are more annoying than Ashley and RE4. I kind of got into Moira's character in Revelation 2, to be honest. I think it could have been a little less one note, but I guess I liked her style. I don't know.
Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine.
It's over.
No,
What time is it in Florida?
I
That's
have
a
to
good
find my
question.
brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning.
It is 2:10. Well, now you guys can say that you saw someone beat RE2 on the N64, and not everyone can say that. I can't, holy shit, 54 of us just hanging out in here. That's cool. Wait a minute. There's another part of that cutscene, right? It just ends right there? Huh. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Kind of sad you modified this game just so it lets you play easy peasy mode, says normal. Not a true gamer. I guess not. Goddamn, aren't you tired? Yes, I'm very tired, actually. That's cool, though. Well, that was fucking fun, guys. Maybe we'll play a game that makes me less frustrated next time. I do want to warn you guys ahead of time, though. I also will be abusing this platform as a venue for continuing to play Street Fighter V and trying to find my Black Canary back in Injustice 2. So get ready for boring fighting game streams, too. Just to let you guys know ahead of time. How much did this game run me? I was lucky. I got... Oh, no. This actually is a repro, so it only cost me 15 bucks. It's not like an actual RE2 cart. Oh, fuck. I just opened the floodgates for Grant saying that I modified it, didn't I? Oh, shit. Off the beast scenario? No, I'm too tired, man. I'm gonna eat some food and chill for a little bit, watch some YouTube, and go to sleep. Play Scenario B. No, I would love to. If we started earlier, then yes, definitely for sure. But oh, you know what I didn't do? I should hook this up to my receiver one day because I think the cutscenes have surround sound. It's not everything, but that'd be cool. There you go, Angel Studios. Scenario B tomorrow. Ooh, you guys are asking a lot from me. I can't say no to you guys, all right? Okay, we at least have to let this play out then so I can save it. Easy peasy reprogramming. Is Twitch dead even or just second? What do you mean? You're a known felon here, Jared. You won't pass it. YouTubers watch YouTube? That's most of what I do, honestly. When videos are late, it's mostly because I've been watching too much fucking YouTube. Weird. Why would they put that blue tint over this picture? There's usually like an orangish tint over it. Pornhubbers watch Pornhub. That's a fact. Ah, 253. That's rough. That's not good. Only at B ranking? We do have plenty of time, that's for sure. I just want to make so what I'm doing right now is editing a full video in DaVinci Resolve, and I only picked up DaVinci Resolve last week, and I'm still not very competent with it, so I want to give myself a shit ton of time to edit this video and figure out all the bullshit. So I've been editing at least 7 hours a day, but that's the only thing I'm doing with my time. I do hope you end up streaming yourself playing D2. Yeah, I might as well. I might have to get a repro for it, though, because I don't have the kind of money it costs to grab a Dreamcast copy of D2. Vanilla's watch Vanilla. That's a fact. Thanks for the N64 RE2 stream. Well, thank you for showing up. No, legitimately, everybody who came out to watch. I really do appreciate it. I didn't think anyone would give a shit about this channel, but it's cool, man. We got 50 people just chilling. That's awesome. Everybody, I love you all. Please make wise decisions. Do not drive drunk if at all possible. Grant, please smoke weed immediately. I'll talk to you all later, maybe tomorrow. I'll see you guys.